Bang! Neeves Knives. I'm Jared, and we are live, ladies and gentlemen, live on Neeves Knives. How's everybody doing tonight? So I see there's a couple topics we're going to talk about from the chat before going live that I said we'd talk about. But also, I have a bunch of topics here we're going to talk about. I'm not sure if you guys seen that bird shot video, but I do want to touch on some things he said in that video. It was about me and the Liang Ma situation. We'll talk about that in a second. They never mind. We'll talk about that here in just a few minutes. Let some people get in here. Thank you guys for showing up. I do appreciate you guys hanging out with us. So, first off, with the ZTs having up and down lock rock or blade rock. I don't know if you're saying blade rock or lock rock. So lock rock would mean the lock bar is actually moving when you apply pressure on the spine. Like if I take this knife right here, if I take this knife and I apply up and down pressure going this way, does the lock start like budging and moving? That'd be lock rock. Blade rock would be where the blade is just rocking back and forth. So the lock bar is not affected. It's just like there's space in between there. So it has, it's able to move. So the one thing I can say is that's not normal. I mean, it's normal. It's very true. Thank you, baby. Oh, yeah.
Hello.
Thank you, baby.
You're welcome.
So it's normal in the sense that it's common, but it's not normal in the sense that you should tolerate it. So what you want to do is you want to take your knife apart. Damn, that's delicious. You want to take your knife apart and okay, so here's a hinder. So take your knife apart so the liner is showing or the frame. I'm not sure what you have, but take it apart, and if there's a steel lock bar insert, you have to take the steel lock bar insert out so that, because that usually has an over travel stop on there, so it'll prevent you from being able to do this. And then, or no, actually you need to go that way. So I'm sorry. You don't need to take out the steel lock bar insert. You can actually leave it. So take the knife apart, take this scale and take this, because now the blade's going to be gone. So you can apply pressure on this lock bar and bend it that way a little bit. It'll make it nice and snug under there. A little goes a long way. So don't try to like bend it. All you're trying to do is get it to budge a little bit more. That way, titanium has really good memory. So depending on how thick it is, depending on a lot of things, you might need to apply a little bit more pressure. And sometimes they bend really easily. So it just depends on a lot of factors. Sometimes they're heat treated, sometimes they're not. But once you bend it to that point, it should stay and it shouldn't go back, because like I said, it has a pretty good memory. But that's what you gotta do. So you gotta take your lock bar and you gotta bend it tight, stronger, so that the lock bar is stronger, but only a little bit. A little goes a long way. And if you go too much, yes, you can take it back, but you'd rather just go slowly and put it together, see if it worked. If it didn't, go a little bit more, take it apart, check it again, and put it back together and check it again. So that's how you get rid of it. I do have a video on it, by the way. If you want to see a video and you want to see me do it, I've done it in multiple videos. Just look up how to fix detents or how to fix blade rock on a knife, because that's the same way you fix a detent that's too light or too strong. You can relieve pressure from the lock bar and make a detent lighter, or you can apply pressure to the lock bar to make a detent stronger. So, in just like a button lock, say if you have a button lock and your detent's not that strong, take the spring out. You can take the spring out and you can stretch it a little bit, and that'll increase the detent strength. There's usually almost always a way to increase the detent strength with a knife. Now, there's going to be a level of which you can only do so much. And then the lock face geometry and things like that, depending on the type of detent it is, or the ball or the hole and things like that play a part. So I've seen Ryan Seems Logical says he got his first Mannix, which is badass. I highly recommend, or you know what, you don't even have to. You can just stay with the scales you have. I don't know about wire clips for these, unless if you have the lightweight, but it sounds like you have the G10 one. But eventually, when you don't really ever get bored with this knife. This knife only grows on you more and more. But if you do get to the point to where it starts getting a little meh to you, get some new scales because it'll completely change the knife. And they got some badass scales on them. Thank you, Ryan. Yes, there is my video on how to fix the lock rock. So yes, it will void the warranty if you do that. It will void the warranty. So that's why it's on you whether or not. That's another thing. You know, I'm not telling you to do it, but that's what I would do. But I would say this, yeah, it's gonna void the warranty if you tell them. If you're good at taking apart knives, then you probably won't even notice, you know. So ZT I think is pretty good. Like even Benchmade, I've never had Benchmade like turn me down, and it's not like they know me and stuff like that. They don't fucking give a shit who I am. But they've always been good to me. Even ProTech, I did a regrind on a blade, and they still did a blade replacement for me. So it just depends on the company. I'm not sure. ZT, you know, I don't know. Hey Jared, I say yes. Great operating knife. Aluminum feels great. Cuts great. Small but good grip possible if you don't have large hands. Get it. Oh, he's talking to Jared Hall. Hey, Mom. Just want to say hi to everyone. Well, hello to you. Yeah, Cassie was telling you about that. We'll talk. You don't have to talk about it in here. We can talk about it privately, Mom. I love you. Don't love the Manix G10 scales, but love the knife. See, I don't mind the G10 scales, but I know it's very grippy. It is really grippy. Got my Microtech Stitch Ram lock. Hell yeah. Frago D Green G10. I'm done for the year. Hell yeah. Good for you, man. Good score. Aside from the fucking soft steel, that's a badass knife. I honestly love the Stitch. I like the Stitch more than the MSI, like by far. The Stitch design is an incredible knife design. The blade shape is good for so many things. The ergos are like, it's really big and like it's a good knife for sure. Can I use white ceramic? For what? David Jewell, what do you ask before? Somebody was asking about a knife sharpener earlier, and it sounded like that knife sharpener that I'm not sure if it is or not, but that knife sharpener you see all those videos on with the guys like taking like this pen like thing with a piece of carbide. I do not recommend that thing. I've done a video on what pull through sharpeners do to your knife. That's basically doing the same thing to some extent. Yes, you can hit more of the edge bevel with it, but you're literally defeating the purpose of a proper edge. A proper edge, the serrations are going one direction and they're going at an angle or straight up and down, one of the two, but not diagonal. So you're literally cutting off the serrations. You always think about your edge. When you think about your edge in a microscopic way, it's a saw blade. That's what it is. It's serrations. So take a fully serrated knife. That's what your edge bevel is microscopically. Now, if you take all those teeth and you knock them off, and now all your scratches are running this way, that kind of defeats the purpose of a good serrated blade, right? Think about it. So that's why you have to, it's like, just because you can take a knife that, you know, and make it start cutting paper again, that doesn't mean shit in the real world, because it'll slip off of cuts. It won't stay into cuts. And worst of all, the very little teeth you do have left are just going to fall off, and it's going to become a dangerous knife. It's going to be super slippery. It won't hold an edge, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. And the more you do it, the less it'll hold an edge. Benchmade was awesome with me. Spyderco were kind of assholes. I heard Spyderco's kind of assholes with their warranty. I've never dealt with it, so I don't know. But I've heard a couple people say, I've had people say that they were fine, but then I've heard other people say they were kind of dicks. I have larger hands. Why I'm questionable with it? With what? You got to explain. Because there's so many conversations. Just explain exactly what you're talking about when you leave a comment. I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just so I know. Jared, did you ever get your Benchmade bailout? No, I didn't, and I'm mad because I want one so bad. I feel like by the time I get one, they're gonna be fucking raised $100 or something. I need to just get one, bite the bullet, and get one. I was gonna get one at Blade Show, And for some reason, you know, when you're at Blade Show, you're captivated by so much. It completely just like skipped my mind. Like I just didn't even think about it. Then when I left, somebody asked me, and I was like, that's what I was, because I literally the whole time I kept thinking, like, what am I forgetting? I'm forgetting something. I came here for something. I could not remember. And I'm so mad I didn't get it. The pyrite is pretty small to me. Okay, the pyrite, but I like the looks of the handle on the cubit. Okay, so if you like the pyrite and you want it a little bit bigger, get the Echo or get the XL pyrite, because they have the big pyrite now. I have one back there. It's a lot bigger, so your hands are definitely not too big for that one. As far as you guys know, I already got it right here. The cubit, yes, the cubit is dope. It's really cool. The handle's not really big, but it's also not really small. You can see I still have some hanging out there when I'm choked up pretty tight, and I can still choke up more. So it's got a full size handle. It's a good size knife. It's a regular size knife. It's not a small knife, not a big knife, just a good size. Okay, so Stay Sharp Pro knife sharpening system. Yeah, I don't know which one that is. I was trying to look it up. Stay Sharp Pro knife sharpening system. Let's see here. I'm not. Is this it? Innovative Outdoors. I'm not getting anything. I'm getting like a little razor blade thing. Why don't you put a? Oh man, if somebody can find it, put a link in the chat so I can find it, because I can't find it. Everything I'm finding is from Tormek or Worksharp. So I want to know exactly what it is. I feel like it's that one pen thing, but I don't know. I can't get the Kaiser original Thai frag out of my pocket. It's such a banger. I went hard on the Spyderco sales. 2 Shamans, 175 and 150. 2 Yojimbos, 150 each. Manix, 105. Manix XL, 135. Kapara, 150. Damn! Holy cow! Where was this sale at? Did I miss this sale? Speaking of sales, I told you guys I did the video earlier talking about all those the sales on Blade HQ's site, and then there's some on Amazon too. We'll get to that question in 1 second. But I do want to talk about really quick some knives that are coming in a few days that if you guys want to get on, you guys should get on it now. And I'm saying that because I have a feeling they're going to sell out. So if you want to get one, we'll talk about it in 1 second. What best diamond or white ceramic for CPM S90V? For touch-ups? So it depends on what kind of touch-up you're talking about. Diamonds always for S90V, but you can use a ceramic on S90V, but when you use a ceramic, it's going to be for one of a few things. It's going to be for removing a burr. It's going to be for micro beveling. It's going to be for maybe mirror polishing, like as your last stone, or edge maintenance. Edge maintenance means you're just going to take a couple passes on each side, but you could do the same thing with a fine diamond and then a ceramic. If you're going to sharpen, though, you want to use diamond. So diamond all the way through for sharpening. When it comes to touching up and honing and things like that, that's when you use ceramic. So what I want to talk about before we get to the birdshot thing is I'm going to pull it up right here. So these are knives that are coming soon. And I'm just going to tell you that they're coming very soon. A little over a week. A little over a week. I can't give you an exact day. I know the exact day, but I don't think I'm supposed to even tell you guys. But a little over a week. And some of these knives are going to be in. I don't know about the Spyderco here, right? But the Civivi, and then, and remember, and those things are probably going to sell out. And this guy right here. Now, I have it. I can't show you guys the video or show it to you right now, but I'm just gonna say they're fucking badass. They're badass. I mean, very, very badass. They did a really good job. I'm not gonna talk about it too much. I'm just gonna say that they did a really good job on these ones. This FG, the Vision FG, is better than the Wii knife one, hands down. Like it dominates it. Like it is hands down better in every single way, which is crazy to think. because the expensive one, because the Wii one's so much more expensive, but they tuned up the little details, and that's the beautiful thing with getting like a first production thing, because in the second one they can tweak the little things that people have issues with. Not that there was like real issues, but it's a lot better. Even the detent, the action, things that people weren't happy with, they're very happy with this one. And then this guy down here, this thing's pretty awesome. Really, really awesome. I don't know why it says K110. I can't remember if it actually is K110 or not. It might be D2 or no, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I think that's wrong. Let me double check with this other one, because there's a few of them in here. The information is sometimes wrong on these. Maybe it is. I can double check, but I'm not gonna right now because I can't show it to you guys. But yeah, it's dope. Really, really dope. It's probably gonna be definitely in the top best knives of the year, like as far as like under $100 goes. Hands down, they're gonna be in that category. You sold me on the Visions VVC version. Yeah, dude, you're gonna be happy with it. I'll tell you what, you're gonna be happy with it, especially if you like if you like a sheep's foot blade, like, you know, there's gonna be some sort of preferences to some extent, but as far as like lockup, build quality, action, fit, finish, just everything, and uniqueness, you know, it's not like everything else out there, and I love that, and I'm sure you guys do too. Like, what's up, Breeze? My cousin Breeze is in the house. But yeah, I know you guys like uniqueness too. You know, I don't get me wrong. I love liner locks. I love frame locks. I love bolster locks, and I love seeing thousands of them. I'm happy with that. But there's something special about getting something unique and something different, something that stands out, something that's not the same old, same old. There's only so many liner locks. Like, I love bolster locks, so I'm not going to say this about bolster locks or frame locks, but there's only so many liner locks you can handle. Bones with the 2 bones says, Jared, you freaking tease. I know, but I can't. Like I said, a little over a week. Oh, and by the way, GP Knives has, if you go to their third page, they have the Work Sharp professional knife sharpening system for $250. They did wind up dropping it down, which is cool. But if you guys want to pick one of those up, I did link all the new arrivals in the description from Blade HQ and from GP Knives. So if you guys want to check that out, you can. Hey, Neeves, what should I put on my carbon steel blades for rust prevention? Oil. You can, if you want to spend money, you can get like KPL stuff. You know, like they have the KPL Camilla oil or whatever the hell it's called, and then they have Knife Shield. But you don't have to do that. You can just get any sort of, or 3-in-1. If you're tight on cash, get 3-in-1. That's exactly what it's called. 3-in-1. 3-in-1. And that's cleans, protects, prevents. And you just take a couple drops, put it on your blade, and then let it sit for like 5-10 minutes, and then wipe it dry, and do that like once a month, once every couple months, depending on the steel. Isn't K110 pretty much the same as D2? Yes, it is. But like I said, I can't remember if that is actually. I'll just tell you guys, damn it. Where is it? Oh, hold on a second. Let me just look. I'll double check for you guys really quick. You guys can't look at it though. I'll tell you if it actually is K110. It might be. I just don't remember. Yeah, it is. It is K110. But yes, K110 is D2. I'm surprised they use K110 and not the 14C on that. But I don't have a problem with D2 or K110 from Civivi. I think Civivi does a good job with their D2. But yes, it's just another country's D2. But yeah, I know a lot of people are not happy with that. But man, I'm surprised that they did that. They didn't just do Nitro V or 14C. I have an important question. Can you patina K390 steel? Yes. Just cut some meat up. Cut some meat. And are you trying to patina, or are you trying to ask to prevent? If you want to prevent, don't do what I'm saying. But if you want to patina it, just cut some meat up and leave it. Let it set. That's all you gotta do. Hey, Neeves, should I hit trees with a pocket knife? I mean, I do. I don't see the problem with it, but I'd be careful for your fingers. If a lock fails, it ain't my fault. It's your fault. All right, so let's talk about this birdshot thing. So birdshot did a video. The other day. I seen it last night. Now I couldn't comment because he has me blocked. I don't know if they know they have me blocked or not, but I've been blocked ever since they did that video where they did a video on YouTubers buying subscribers and shit like that. And I felt like, even though they never said my name, they never called me out, but I felt like it was towards me. And I wasn't 100%, but I was pretty sure. And the reason why was because, one, I had just put out that one video that got like 20 million views. And number two, and they were saying about buying views, buying subscribers, buying likes and follows or whatever. So, and then my channel was also blowing up at that exact same time because of that video. That video dropped and it blew me up in the algorithm, right? So it was just everything worked out. And that's how YouTube works. And people understand the algorithm. A lot of channels are only trying to get like one viral video every 6 months. That's how it works. And that's why they work on getting a viral video, because a one viral video can change your fucking life, change your channel. Anyways, but so when he did that video, I knew they were talking about me, but it really confirmed it when I tried to leave them a comment on that video and they blocked me. And I was wondering, like, how is nobody commenting back to my comment or liking it or anything like that? So I asked somebody, I said, hey, can you go and look at this video and see if you see my comment? And they did, and they couldn't see it. Still to this day, like, you can't see. I don't even attempt anymore. Anyways, so I can watch his videos, but I can't comment. So they did a video. He did a video talking about me and Liang Ma's beef, whatever you want to call it. But he said he wouldn't say my name, which, just say my name. But what he did do was he said he didn't even watch it. He didn't even know what he was talking about. And then he was defending him. And this is the problem I have. If you guys want to, go watch his video after I'm done talking or later when we're done with this live. But basically, the gist of it is he didn't watch. He doesn't even know what happened. He knows the gist of what happened. He knows that a reviewer said some bad things about his knife, and then he did something on the internet, like by doing something, meaning like he like he said something, and it pissed off the reviewer basically, but he didn't know anything what he was talking about. Now, this is the problem that I have, is that, and it's not really a problem, and I'm not trying to like call him out or anything like that. But it's just, you gotta stand back and look at it from the perspective of the people. If you don't even know what happened and you're willing to defend him, what does that say about your allegiance and your trust, right? How can I trust you on a product if you're going to say good things about it regardless, the person, the product, or whatever, right? They talked about how nice of a guy he is at Blade Show and how they've, ate with him and went and seen him. Of course he is, right? And I'm not trying to say he's a bad guy. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say that. I'm trying to say that, of course, that's like going to a strip club and fucking saying the girls love me there. They're so fucking nice to me. Right? And you're sorry. No, I'm sorry. I'm mistaken. You're not the customer. You're a reviewer, right? So you're somebody who has the ability to hurt his product or make his product better, in his eyes. So of course he's going to be nice to you and friendly to you at Blade Show. Most of the people there are friendly. It doesn't mean that they don't have faults and problems and issues, right? And if if he would have watched the video and seen what happened and defended it, that to me is just crazy. But like, regardless, right? I'm not butthurt about it. It's not even a big deal to me anymore. Liang Ma's apologized to me. We've spoken. I'm not going to show his stuff on the channel anymore, just because I don't think it's ethical. I don't think it'll be right, because I think if it's a lose-lose for me. That's basically what it is. And trust me, I want to. I loved his knives. I absolutely loved Liang Ma's knives. That's why I hated this, because it's just a fact about being honest, right? Like, if you're going to be honest with the product It doesn't matter how much I loved all his other previous knives. And I even said that in the video. So, you know, it sucks that I can't do that anymore, right? And then it sucks that, like, I'm not going to show, anyways, regardless. But with Birdshot, when you talk like that the guy's a nice guy and stuff like that, that doesn't have anything to do with what happened or say the product, right? So it's just it's weird to me that he would say that rather than go and just see what happened, right? First of all, but regardless, he you know, when you're a knife reviewer, right, you can't have an allegiance to the companies and the designers. Not saying you can't be friends with them. Of course you can be friends with them. You can eat dinner with them, take pictures with them, shake hands with them, do business with them, right? It's all business, so that's good. But you can't have an allegiance where you're willing to fuck the community over in order to say something good about their product, right? Because it is about the product at the end of the day. And as a reviewer, you're supposed to say your honest opinion on said product. How can I trust your honest opinion when you're willing to defend somebody and you don't even know what the fuck happened? You don't even know the story or anything. Like, I can understand going in to defend somebody if it's like your brother, right? If this is your boy, this is your best friend, like this is somebody I talk to every day, I hang out with them, you know, like we you know what I mean. I understand that, right? That's where, you know, it's like you got to defend your own. But that's not what we're talking about here. We're not talking like just because you guys have met up a few times at Blade Show and shook hands and ate dinner together, that doesn't, you know, anyways. As Nick Shabazz say, I digress. I'm going to read some of your comments, but it just kind of bothered me that he didn't just go watch the video. And then I feel like he did. To be honest, I feel like he did watch it. I just think he was lying. And I hate to say that because I'm not trying to call the fucker out. You know, I like Birdshot. I want to be clear. I've always liked Birdshot. Me and Kara, when we first got in this community, they're a big reason why we even started a channel. To be honest, seriously, we loved watching them. I don't know why they have an issue with us. I don't know why they blocked us. I don't know. I mean, I know why they said that we were buying subs and followers and stuff, even though they didn't say our name. But I didn't even give a shit, to be honest. And I still don't. But where was I going with that? You know, like I said, I like them, but I don't know. I don't even know what the fuck I was about to say now. Now I forget. I'll think of it in a second. Be honest. Has anyone used their knife to clean underneath their nails? Every day. I do that every day. More like bird cook, if you know. Yeah, their ignorance is something. Yeah, you know, I just, man, I wish that he would. I think he. Oh, that's what I was trying to say. I think he did see it. I think he did watch the video. I think he watched the video and he just didn't want to say it because then he'd have to say my name, or he'd have to admit that he knows what happened and how absurd it was, right? Because it's difficult to say you heard what happened, watched what happened, and then still defend him. Do you know what I mean? And listen, I'm not trying to come at Leon Ma's throat when I say this, so please don't take it like I am. I do not want to stir this back up. I feel I have no intentions on doing that. You know, it's over with, it's past, but it wasn't just me. Remember that. It wasn't just me. Before it even happened to me, I had multiple people contact me and I defended them. Multiple people contacted me saying that they were having issues with him and the things he was saying to them and the problems they were having. And like some of them were pretty serious. And they were sending me screenshots and all kinds of the conversation. So like it wasn't BS, but you know, I defended him. And with that other guy, that thing that happened with him and that one guy, you know, he made videos on it. That was a whole spiel. You know, I didn't know what was going on with it. I didn't want to get involved because I didn't know, you know, but after everything, then something happens to me. So then it's like, oh, you know, obviously these people were all telling the truth, right? So, and it's just how the situation was dealt with because, and the big thing is with a product like that, like I can be hot tempered, right? I can be hot tempered too, but there's a level, right? There's a level. Like, this is a product, a reviewer saying, like, it's your product with your name on it. Like, why would you want to just, like, to automatically go right to firing off at somebody rather than trying to help the issue, help the problem? Like, that's how I feel, right? Like, and as somebody who has a hot temper and has done a lot of hot tempered shit, I sympathize with somebody losing their cool out of nowhere, right? I don't know if he was drinking. I don't know what, regardless. But when you've been in this business long enough, you'd think you would know better not to do that. And like I said, if it happened one time, it'd be one thing, but it's happened so many times that now I've come to the conclusion that I just don't think he's that great of a person, right? Regardless, if anybody wants to buy his knives, like, he designs amazing fucking knives. Riet makes them. So Riet does an incredible job. So he does make, or not make, he designs great products, man. Like, so it's undeniable. I can't deny that. But but his morals and the way he acts and the way he responds to things. And the thing is that it doesn't matter, like, if, say, Birdshot, right, or me or whoever, right? Think about, if I have an issue with my knife and that's what happens. Imagine, like, you, right? And like with Birdshot, like, let's say you're friends with him, right? And if you had an issue, you could easily talk to him. But what happens to the people that don't have a platform and you know what I mean? And are not advertising his product for him, right? Because that's basically what it sounds like at the end. If you're not willing to criticize it, right? If you can't criticize the product, and that's why I have to criticize every product. If I can't find anything to criticize, I'm not gonna. But I'm just saying, like, whether it's little criticisms or big criticisms, I have to be able to criticize the product. If I can't, then why the fuck do you care what I have to say? Why would why would you I'm sorry I'm cussing so much, but why would you listen to anything I have to say? Because then it's like, why would you trust anything I have to say? If there was something wrong, I wouldn't tell you anyways. Do you know what I mean? Like, especially if I'm friends with the guy. But that's why I've went up and beyond with even my friends that have designed knives, to be very honest with what I think about the knife. And one guy who recently designed a fucking knife that's an absolute banger is Kevin from Devo Knives, or Lefty EDC. Man, this is an absolute banger of a product. And I've been critical over some of his other knives, but this is one that's just they knocked this one out of the park, and oh man, they did such a good job. I wish I could keep this one, right? Seriously, he might not get that back. All right, I'm gonna read some of your guys' comments. We'll talk about some knives here in 1 second. I do have some more knives I want to talk about. Are we reviewing strippers now? People need to develop thicker skin. Nowadays, everyone is getting offended way too easy. Yes, I agree. I agree with that. And that's also where, there has to be a level of accountability, right? Like, I can't imagine if somebody's told me, like, and I said this in that one video, if somebody came in the chat and were bitching about my audio or something, and I just went, just guns blazing at them, that'd be ridiculous, right? They're trying to help me. And if I listened to them, it would probably help me. Only if they're your girlfriend first and then a dancer. I see what you did there. Hey, Neeves, should I buy an OTF knife or a Buck Auto? Depends on the OTF. But depends on the Buck Auto too. Which Buck Auto? But I'd probably say depends on the companies, but probably an OTF. Buck, there's some knives I love from Buck. Buck does a great heat treat, as long as it's the boss heat treat, but their knives are a little, Jared would be able to say you're a nice guy, but a bad designer, or a good designer, but an asshole personality. The product and person are reviewed separately. Facts, absolute facts. And that's another thing, though, like that, because it is separate, right? When talking about the product or talking about what happened with the whole situation, that is two different things. Now, whether or not you want to buy the product, knowing what you know about the person, That's on you, right? But you know, because then you have to deal with the consequences of if something happens, what's going to happen? How are they going to deal with it? Things like that. Will they deal with it? You know, I talked about in that video that when I had to get hardware, remember he ignored me for like, I don't know, 6 months. When I asked him for a knife, you guys watch, I'm sure you guys watch my video. I asked him to if you want to put some knives on the channel months, or no, a whole year before I, you know, even ran into him at Blade Show, talked to him. I had bought some of his knives. I'd had him on the channel. And when I asked him, you know, it was because he was coming out with his new product line, right? But he ignored me every time. Like he ignored, and which was fine. I didn't give a shit. I still don't give a shit. But eventually I needed hardware from him. And I'm thinking, like, is he even going to answer me? He hasn't answered me any other time. And he did actually answer me to get hardware through warranty, but it was a nightmare to get it. I did eventually get it. But if you guys knew the hoops I had to jump through to get this hardware, it was insane. My Winter Blade Mirage will be here tomorrow, and today I just purchased a Sharp by Designs Mini Evo drop point, regular carbon fiber for $2.99. What's your thoughts on it? I love it. I absolutely love it. The Mini Evo is one of my favorite knives. I wish I had a full-size version, to be honest. I know DLT Trading has an exclusive, but I don't like that one with the holes. I just want the same one I have in a larger version. I get the micarta version. I love it. How a company and maker react to criticism and feedback or concerns is what tells me where to spend money. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because it tells you whether or not they're willing and wanting to make their product good, make the product better, right? If they can't take criticism, then they think they're perfect, right? None of us are perfect. No product is perfect. So because of that, you should expect some criticism. Now, maybe he was in defense, you know, and I could understand that. That's his baby. I get it. But there's a level of which, you know, you do that. Like he went straight to low blows. Which whatever, like, you know, I got thick skin. I don't really care. But you know, with Birdshot making the video, it's just crazy. I know he had to have watched it. Like, who here really thinks he didn't watch the video? People even said in the comments, like, you don't know what you're talking about, yet you made a video on it. It would have taken you 2 seconds to just click the damn video and watch it. And then somebody even said, like, or maybe you're just lying or something like that. The comments are great in that video, except for the ones that are all, and this is something, Carol brought this up. A lot of the comments are defending him and defending Liam Ma because they don't know the story. They literally are defending it based on what they know, which is very limited. They think it had something to do with having thick skin and thinking that it had something to do with like a reviewer being butthurt or something. Like it's like literally the opposite of what happened, because Birdshot didn't know what happened. So what he said about it made it seem like it was something that it wasn't. Like it was more like a beef when it wasn't a beef, right? It was more a product was reviewed and the maker, you know, went guns blazing at the reviewer for making an honest review. And then the reviewer made a video on what he did. And remember, through that whole thing, he was deleting comments, blocking people, doing everything possible to make his post in his page. The reason why he took that video down was because there was too many people commenting and he couldn't keep up with it. It's literally what happened. That's an absolute fact. He made that post and so many people were coming in talking shit and like saying stuff, and he couldn't delete them fast enough. Then he tried making a new video, right, saying like sorry and stuff, and people were doing the same thing there, and he was doing the same thing, just deleting them. And he had blocked me at first, and so it made it impossible for me to even say anything to him or see a lot of things too. Story time. So what happened with the felony? I'm gonna make a video on that. But I mean, I talk about it all the time in this. I mean, I talk about my past a lot. At 9 o'clock, we can do story time, but I'm gonna make the whole video on it in like probably tomorrow. So But we can talk about it at 9 o'clock. I was actually going to tell a story about accidentally becoming a fugitive. Um, are we like that? So we defend Neeves without knowing the full facts. I try to be loyal, but not blindly loyal. Absolutely. And like I said, I do think there is a level of loyalty to your friends. Like that I do think does exist. An acquaintance, a business thing, that's not a friend, right? A friend is somebody who has your back. A friend is somebody you can call in the middle of the night. A friend is somebody you can contact that's in your phone right now that you can call, contact, and get advice from or have a real conversation with. That's who a friend is. A friend isn't somebody you know, you guys know what I'm getting at. I don't have to explain that. I've got knife money burning a hole in my pocket. Well, better start spending that shit and use Neeves Knives links. Don't forget to use Neeves Knives links. What's up, Pink Man? I do appreciate when you guys use the links, by the way. It does bless this channel massively. Kara's playing her damn game. You guys can probably hear it in the background a little bit. Elias says Neeves doesn't let blokes sleep with his wife. That's another reason I like him. And doesn't have purple hair. I definitely don't do either one of those things. Neither one of those. What's a fair price coating Aries texture titanium model? $1,000. Depends on the quality. But if it's brand new, like never been used, never been sharpened, yada yada, maybe a little bit more, maybe 1,300 or something. But I know like some of them go for like $1,800, depending on which one and everything else. When is the last time you met an impressive man or woman? Really think really hard now. An impressive man or woman. Yeah, it's been a little while for me, but I think I see a lot of impressive people, but as far as meeting them face to face, yeah, it's been a little while. I try to be that as much as possible. You know, I want to be as impressive as possible. You got a CVV Vision FG prototype early? Yes, I do. Well, I don't have the prototype. I have the actual model. But I can't show it to you guys till it drops, and that'll be very soon. Like I'm telling you guys, a little over a week. Do you recommend the Hogue Deca and Magnica? Absolutely. I usually recommend. I have met you, Ian. Yes, I have. I have definitely met Ian. Shout out to Ian Coates. As far as the Deca goes, I do recommend it, but if you're gonna get it, I recommend if you're gonna get the FRN scales, get original goat scales. Link down in the description. Original goat. It massively improves the knife. So the problem I have with the Hogue Deca and Magnicut with the FRN, like if it's G10, that means it's 20 CV, and I think they have Magnicut versions with that Ultim scales. I personally don't like the Ultim scales, but if you like them, that's cool. It's fine. But if you're getting the FRN is so flimsy. When you squeeze it, the knife compresses and pinches you. So like when I was trying to cut cardboard and shit, it would literally compress and pinch my skin in between the scales. So I got the aluminum original goat scales. And the aluminum scales aren't that much money. They're USA made, so you don't have to worry about putting Chinese products on a USA made knife. They're USA made, 100%. They have titanium ones and aluminum, but I'm telling you, it massively improves that knife and barely makes it any heavier. The aluminum ones, I can't notice the difference in weight, but the strength, the feeling of the knife, tenfold better. And yes, thank you, Todd. And yes, you can get 15% off using my affiliate link with the discount code Neeves. Vision FG White Mountain Knives says 8/7 for release date. That is exactly the date. There was another knife. I can't speak about it, but there's another knife that was supposed to be released on that date, but it got recalled. So Birdshot is Lima's flipper. No way he did. I think he did. The reason why I think he did was because he knew some, right? He knew a little bit. And how would he know that little bit? Like, unless if you watch somebody else's video. There was another video by Sharif. Sharif did a video on the whole thing. Maybe he watched that, which Sharif broke down what happened for the most part. But why wouldn't you just watch it? Like that just doesn't make sense to me. You're gonna make a video on the topic, but not like me right now. Can you imagine if I just seen, if I, heard somebody say what Birdshot said rather than just going and watching his video. I watched his video. I heard what he said. But yeah, it's just weird to spend the time to turn the camera on and make a video. And nothing happened. Just Birdshot made a video about me and Liang Ma because so the reason why he did it was because he, I guess, was posting some videos on Liang Ma knives, and people were in the comments like, why would you show his knives? Why would you blah, 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 blah. And he didn't know anything happened because they're kind of removed from the community. And I don't mean that in an insulting way. So do not take it that way. But when I first joined the community, Birdshot was all over the place. Like, you've seen them everywhere. You've seen them commenting. You see them. But now, like, I see them posting videos. I didn't even know he posted so many videos because it's like I almost never see them. But I did see when I checked out that video that he posts videos pretty often. But you don't see him in the community, really. You know what I mean? Like you never see him. I've never seen them do a live. I've never seen them go on any podcasts. I've never at Blade Show. I've seen them, but you know, it's kind of awkward. But not saying they're awkward, but like because you know, with us being blocked by them and everything. But I think they're a little bit removed from the community now, and they're not really involved like they used to be. So he supposedly didn't know what happened, and so he kind of looked into it. I don't know. He looked into it a little bit. I don't know, but then he found out like a little bit happened, but he didn't even know the reviewer's name, my name. But I just don't believe that. It's kind of like the whole video with the buying subs thing, right? He never said my name, but it was clear he was talking about me. As a few thought coverage on the eve of 7, thus when come to thy underground seeking earthquakes and fell the man with the sock only. Summons I must. Don't make me read shit like that. Oh fuck. Oh man. All right, let me scroll up. Or down. Thank you, Todd. I do appreciate you hitting my links up in the chat. I believe I remember having an Ultim handled knife back in the 80s. Really? I've never really had the Ultim. Thanks, Pink Man. I never really had the Ultim scales. I just don't really like the way they look. I'm not a fan of them. I will be honest. They do look good on black. Black hardware, black clip, black blade. They do kind of look good. I'll be honest. I'm starting to like the way they look with black knives. But I'm just not a big fan of see-through stuff. See-through scales and stuff. And it's like yellow see-through. Anybody who doesn't know what we're talking about, let me just show you guys because I feel bad sitting here talking about something without a picture. A lot of you guys don't know what it is. So here it is. I'll show you. So the yellow. So this would be the Hogue Deca in Magna Cut with the Ultim scales. Now I did hear the Ultim scales are much stronger than the FRN. But like I said, I haven't tried them. But you see how it's like see-through? I'm not a huge fan. I will say it does look good with the black. The black on gold, that looks pretty slick. And I do love their heat treat on their Magna Cut now. So they're doing a good job with it. I don't know why he makes a video about it now. That shit, ancient history. Yeah, but the reason why he did was because of people making comments in his thing, in which they, if I guess they were trying to say because like he was doing videos on his stuff and like they were, like coming at him a little bit because a lot of people kind of stepped away from Liang Ma. It definitely hurt his sales, but that's not my fault. That's his fault, not mine. And obviously I had a lot to do with it, but that was his behavior. Like, how many times I've talked shit about a knife product, or not talk shit, let me be clear, just been honest about a product, and the company winds up getting better, and we wind up getting a good relationship, and I can actually communicate with them and talk to them. Some of them I can literally call and say, hey, this and this is so-and-so, can you adjust that? And they're like, yes, we will, and it makes a better product. I don't know. Why would he think you're buying subs? There are other YouTubers your size or bigger in the community, and you're constantly invading. Because at the time, I had a video getting millions of views. So if you watch his video, he was comparing us to tabletop knife reviewers. Now, let me be clear. It just saying that comparing tabletop knife reviewers to each other is ignorant. That means you don't understand the algorithm. And I know they think they understand the algorithm, but they absolutely don't. The everything they said in their video pertaining to buying subs and shit like that made it very clear they had no idea. They don't understand the algorithm. Um, and I'm not I feel like I'm talking shit, and I'm not trying to. Their channel's been stuck at around 50,000 for a long time, and I'm not talking shit about that. But it's very clear to me why, right? I can look at their channel and see why. But you can have two different channels doing almost the exact same thing, and one channel is going to grow a lot faster just because they have an understanding of the algorithm and how it works. So they were comparing me, even though I don't just do tabletop. That's another thing, is like comparing me to that when I've done every style of video. I think I've been the most versatile knife reviewer in around. Seriously. Like I've done every type of video. If you can go into my playlist, I have sharpening stuff in my playlist. I have like everything. Anyways, but when you do compare channels, you can't just compare them like that. Like you have to compare a lot of other things. And that's where they were ignorant about it. So, and because I had a video that was blowing up, even though to me it was very clear why that video blew up, but it blew up. And even though I had other videos do really well, so it kind of was like a progression. I had like a few videos do really, really well, which helped inspire that video to do well, because that's how it works. Like, like you kind of build up to like a viral video in some cases, in a lot of cases. Chris Jones with the 2 bones. I'm gonna have to send you a replacement clicker. Oh shit, you can hear it, can't you? I had to remagnet the magnets already. Yeah, I've been fidgeting with this thing like crazy. You can see, look what I've already done to the tape. When you sent this tape was new. I don't even know what type of tape that is, if I'm supposed to replace it or what. I've never had one of these, so yeah, it is just fancy plastic. I agree with that. That's another thing. I'm not a big fan of plastic. G10 is another thing. I like G10, but other than G10, I don't like plastic. And I know you could say G10 is like a souped up plastic, but it has to be machined, right? And plastic is molded, so he deserves everything. Let his company go down. I think his knives are tacky and ugly. I think his knives are great. I do like his designs. I think they're well executed when, because Riet does them. But there are other things I don't like. I don't like that he doesn't get prototypes. I don't like that he doesn't send knives out to knife reviewers as prototypes, so that he can get feedback before he has thousands of knives out there that are being recalled or whatever you could say, like with people having issues. Jared, show us your green Titius. My green Titius. Uh, why can't I remember which one? Oh, the Kubi. You're talking about the Kubi, the Titius, the 322. I don't have it sitting here. I'm sorry, I don't have it sitting right here. My bad, dog. I got some other knives we can check out, though. How much more can we realistically expect from companies? New locks, new steels, new shapes. You can only reinvent the wheel so many times. We are in a golden age of knives. Do you have any ideas? I do. Actually, I do have some ideas, and I do think there's still more to come. I think that we are in the golden age. I think we have done a lot, and I do think we have to give a lot of companies credit, because a lot of people say, oh, it's another blah, 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 or another blah, because there's only so many blade shapes and so many handle shapes we can do. That's true. But there's different materials we can use. There's different locking mechanisms, and you're right. It does get tough. There's only so many because you're trying to do the same thing, right? But I still think there's more left. And like, I even have a few ideas. So we'll see. We'll see how things develop over the next couple of years. I still think there's a lot more in the chamber. I really do. I think we've just scratched the surface. I think right now, um, we are in a great place as far as knives go, and I think because of all the developing and because of all the designers and all the minds coming into it, the knife community is blown the fuck up. It is blown up like crazy. Like, you have people of all walks of life involved in the knife community, whether they're open about it or not. Like, not meaning like they're hiding about it, but I'm just saying there's people in the knife community you don't even realize they're in the knife community. People that are carrying knives, like, you'd be like, I didn't even know, like, that actor or that person or whoever, carries a knife. But because of that, I think, we're only going to see it get better. How much? Oh, I already read that one. Jared even humored me and made kukri and sword videos. He is versatile with what his reviews and evolves his review format as time goes on. I do, and but I like to do everything. I love doing everything. I think it's good for me, for my catalog, to be super versatile. I don't want to be put in a box. I don't want to be put in a box of the guy who does this. I want to be I want to keep people on their toes. I'd rather people not know what they're going to get and to be excited to watch the channel because of that reason. I obviously, if you watch the channel, there's going to be some things that, you obviously know can be similar sometimes, but it's great when your content can evolve. And I don't want my channel to ever be at a standstill. And I don't mean like as far as subs goes. I mean, as far as content goes, I want to always be evolving and growing. And that's how any successful business is going to be. No successful business got successful by not evolving. Edward says, can't give money this time. Just want to say thanks for reading my super chat last time, man. I really appreciate it. Cutting the alcohol and starting a 72-hour fast tonight and getting my life on track. Good for you, Edward, dude. Round of applause for Edward. Everybody give Edward a round of applause. That's awesome, man. Good for you. Fuck yeah. It's some tough shit. And I definitely compliment you on that. And yeah, hang in there, man. I know it's gonna be tough, but yeah, tough men have to do tough shit sometimes, and you'll get through it. Just keep your head straight, and self-talk is the biggest thing, man. It's so easy to talk negative to yourself. It's so easy to talk yourself into something, right? But if you have your mind talking to you in a way that is complimenting you and encouraging you and egging you on in a good way, not in a bad way. Same thing goes for in a bad way, right? We go down holes because we allow ourselves to talk ourselves into doing stupid shit. Or, like, it's kind of like somebody sleeping in, right? You wake up in the morning, and of course you're fucking tired when you wake up, right? You just woke up. So you're like, oh, I don't feel like getting out of bed. I feel like just laying here. And so you go back to sleep, right? And you wake back up and you're like, oh, I don't feel like getting up. Like, that's all your self-talk, rather than waking up and yourself just saying, get the fuck up, bitch. Like, maybe not like that. That's what my brain says. But, saying whatever, encouraging you, saying, like, you're the man, like, punks don't sleep in, get up, get going. You're going to be able to conquer a lot today. I don't know. Saying, just stuff that's encouraging in your mind can change everything about you. Self-talk is one of the most important things. And it's something that I've worked on massively. And it's such a benefit when your brain, is very confident and talks to you in an encouraging way. How would you recommend someone getting into making vids in the knife community? I have made videos on other stuff, but I only have so many knives. You just have to do it. You just have to do it. You're going to have to spend money the first year. Don't try to get a hold of companies. No company's going to send you anything. So make friends, spend money, get more knives, get creative, and just make content, because you have to build a catalog. Just like any type of channel, you have to build a catalog. I would say a knife channel is not the best thing to get into if you don't have the money to support it. It's not that you can't do it. It's just going to take a lot longer. Now, if you're very creative, you can take a very limited amount of knives, 15 knives. When I first started, I had like 10 knives. But you got to be creative and make friends of the community. They'll send you stuff. That's how I grew my channel, was all from the community. The community helped me. But you have to have the gift of gab. You have to be able to get in front of the camera and talk good shit and show up and be consistent and, you know, and give people what they want. Know your audience. But it all starts with just doing it. You know, nothing else matters until you start doing it. You know, it's kind of like learning how to edit. You don't need to learn how to edit until you have like 50 videos up, because there's no point to learn how to edit. You know what I mean? Until you start building a catalog. That's the number one goal at first. Jared reminds me of myself. He definitely would have been a friend back in the day. I have tons in common stories and outlooks. We definitely get along great with our past and presents. Yeah, I think there's a lot of us. I think there's a lot of us in the community that relate with each other and have similar paths, even if they're slightly different. I think we can relate. You know, I've asked this on a few different live streams and no one really had an answer. Well, I'll have an answer for you, but I'll ask anyway. Was there any NAF at Blade that everyone loved at the show, but you think the hype will fade soon? Well, one, the Microtech MSI. I think the Microtech MSI. I like the Microtech Stitch more, and I do like the Microtech MSI, but their heat treat is soft. That's one thing. Take that away. I think the knife is very popular right now. But yeah, man, it's tough because that one, man, if they continue doing manual knives, they will be very popular. But I do think that that's going to be one that kind of dwindles down pretty quickly as people get them and buy them. Other than that, there was like a couple Wii knives that were we had some bangers. We had some of the best knives that are coming out this year, but they also had some other ones that were meh. But they had a lot of great ones, though, man. A lot of great ones. They have a lot of great stuff coming this year, man. Holy shit. Does We Knife go have some stuff coming? Stop thinking, start doing. Fuck the critics, trust the process. Don't stop. Damn straight, Breeze. Exactly. Keep it pushing, keep it moving, and you have no chance but to be successful as long as you do that. You know, if you keep it pushing, keep it moving, keep working hard, keep at it. If you got tenacity and you got grit, and you're gonna keep fighting and keep pushing, keep doing it no matter what, no matter how tired, no matter how whatever, right? But also if you don't give yourself, like, I love what Jocko Willing said. And I do the same thing. So that's why it really resonated with me. He said, when I wake up, I don't even think about whether I'm tired or not, because I'm getting up regardless. It doesn't matter if I'm tired. It doesn't matter if I feel sick. It doesn't matter if I feel under the weather. It doesn't matter if I feel sad. It doesn't matter. None of it matters. I'm getting the fuck up regardless. So why think about it? And that's how my brain works. Like, why even sit there and stress about it at all? I'm getting up regardless. And then when it comes to like he uses like exercise, I don't exercise first thing in the morning, but if I did, it'd be just like that too. Like, regardless, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. So it doesn't matter how sore I am, doesn't matter how I feel about this or that. I'm gonna do it. I exercise in different schedules, but like, you know, if I did it first thing in the morning, then I'd do the same thing. But whatever it is that you do first thing in the morning, you know, whatever it is, whether, like, say if you work construction and you have to get your truck loaded, right? Get your tools ready, whatever, right? Getting at it and just going to it. Keep it pushing, keep it working. That Quiet Carry 9 you have looks really nice. Dig it up. Dude, the Quiet Carry 9 is one of the best knives of the year. It's definitely, like, I can't imagine something coming out this year. The F22 is another one. The F22, I got it right here. That's another banger. So the F22, the Quiet Carry 9, and then a couple Wii knives that are coming soon. They're probably going to be the best knives of the year. I don't see too many knives coming out that are going to be able to absolutely, like, just destroy the 9. Whether the 9 gets number 1 or number 5, it's still going to be in the running. Yeah, 58 HRC on that end, on that Microtex M390. Yeah, I know, man. It's sad, man. It's sad. Why not just do it harder? Why? Why use that steel, right? Why use? I know they developed that steel to be their own, another version, whatever the fuck they did. They basically, it's just M390. Let's be clear, it's just M390. But and this is the part that messes me up. They knew that they needed to increase the edge retention, so they adjusted the steel rather than just adjusting the heat treat. Wouldn't that just make more sense? Just make the steel harder rather than adjusting anything. All they had to do was do a harder HRC. You're going to get more edge retention. Instead, they try to put some extra shit in the steel and just still do it just as soft. It's dumb. It's really dumb. And it does go dull pretty quick. Like it doesn't hold an edge. Like even like hinders, right? And I love hinders and I like microtech. So let's be clear, I fucking love this shit, but I have to be able to criticize it, right? Like how could you guys trust me if I sat here and told you right now how this 20 CV is some of the best 20 CV I've ever experienced, right? Half of you would be laughing at me, right? It sounds ridiculous. Now, do I think it's a good heat treatment? Yeah, I think they do a good job with their heat treatment. It sharpens up really good, but it's softer. So the burr is a little bit more of a struggle to remove. Not that it's hard to remove, but it's not as easy as a harder 20 CV. But even though the edge, like it sharpens up really good and it feels like a good heat treat, the problem is it's just soft. So what the end is it doesn't hold an edge. It just does not hold an edge very long. I would say it's like S35VN, S30V, steel. That's basically the edge retention it has. So why not just use a different steel? Why use that steel? That's the part that gets to me. If you want a tough steel, use a tough steel, right? If you're worried about toughness, use a tough steel. The geometry is already thick, so it doesn't even make sense. I got the wee Ziphius and Damas steel. Damn, son. And I don't know whether to keep it or sell it. I don't know. I think there's still some Damas steel ones left for people to buy, so I wouldn't sell it. I'd keep it if I was you and then wait till they're sold out, then sell it because it's a limited edition one. So you might be able to get what you paid, or if not a little bit more in the future. But right now, people can go get a brand new one. So not that yours isn't brand new, but it's bought. So, lighthearted question. With all this alien talk, if you had to pick one knife to show the aliens, what would you pick and why? I'd pick the Factor. Maybe the Factor. I don't know though. I wish there was a Factor with a spear point blade or a Warncliffe or something, like something that's not a sheep's foot, because I want something that can. Because what if the aliens attack me? I want to be able to stab them. I just can't see myself stabbing them with a Factor. I just got the quiet carry waypoint. What grit and angle should I sharpen it to? I like using it as food prep and basic EDC. Quiet carry waypoint, I personally would do 17 degrees per side. It is a thin grind, or it has a thin edge, so you don't want to go too low with it because you'll lose the edge stability from it being Vanax and it being so thin. So I wouldn't go under 17 degrees per side. So between 20 and 17 degrees, that's where I would keep it. Regardless, if you want it a little tougher, go 20 degrees. If you want it a little sharper, 17 degrees. And then I would take it to 1200, between 6 and 1200 grit. You can put a mirror polish on it if you want a mirror polish, but I think you'd like it better between 6 and 1200 grit. So I'm curious, do you guys and gals hit the like button? Do you just look at it and not touch it? Do you press it twice? Does it hurt to push it? Is it not working? What the fuck is the issue? I agree, Breeze. What is going on with the damn like button? Please hit the like button. I appreciate it, guys. Oh, man. The Wii Zonda looks nice, but damn, they keep inching those prices up. They do, but the prices are changing for everybody. So, their back end is, changing. So, obviously, Microtech don't care about about our hard-earned money. Fuck them. Yeah, well, everybody keeps buying them, so why would they, right? It's kind of, I can name so many other companies. We can name one right now, Benchmade, right? I do think, they care about they care about the money, right? Obviously, and they should. Let's be clear. They should care about the money. They would, but they should also be incentivized to create the best product so that people are more likely to buy them. I think, you know, with some of them, they're worried about pumping out more product because it's not going to change their sales, right? If they up their HRC, the only thing that would happen is they would slow down production a little bit. They wouldn't be able to provide as many knives, but the amount of people that are buying them wouldn't change. And that is why. If half the people that bought them, 25% of the people bought them stopped tomorrow, they would start wondering, okay, what's going on? They would start adjusting stuff right there. Spy 27 is meh. S100 is very good. Just for the acoustics. I have been listing after an iMamba non-flipper with desert ironwood. Is it really worth not getting lunch out for a couple of months to get one? 629. I do have a video on one, but if you're wanting to get one, I would not recommend watching my video. Mine was failing really easily. I'm joking though. He fixed it. It wasn't mine, it was somebody else's, but he fixed it. So it's not a big deal. You can go watch it, but just know that he fixed the knife. Yeah, I think it's a badass knife. I think it's awesome. I love it. I think it's a great knife. I think if you're willing to buy a Sebenza, that would be like almost like a better not better. I don't want to say better, but a more a knife that's more today. What the fuck? Modern, more modern. CTS XHP or crew wear? Which one do you prefer, everyday carry? I prefer crew wear. Now, CTS XHP, if it's done by Spyderco, I think Spyderco does a phenomenal job with CTS XHP. So the thing with CTS XHP, it's basically like a stainless D2. That's what it is. However, it's very different in sharpening and edge retention. The types of edges it takes when heat treated well, like from Spyderco, is absolutely insane. It takes high level sharpness edges. And it holds it really, really well. Crew wear is the exact same way, but even better. So I love crew wear because of its ability to take a fine, ultra fine edge and hold it for so long. It's one of the longest lasting, not the longest, but it's up there with one of the leading longest lasting polished edges that hold bite. Like if you polish the edge, how long will that fucker stay sticky? How long will it whittle hair for? Right? Until like if you're cutting cardboard and stuff, you know, things like that. And I'm not saying like if you cut down 100 feet of cardboard, it's still going to be whittling hair. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that it's still has that ultra fine edge that's really, really good. That's still shaving hair at least. Maybe not whittling hair, but it's definitely shaving hair. And in some cases, it might still be whittling hair. Van X or Elmerix? Van X. Van X for show. The Wii Exiton, it's all gone except for the $650 model. I seen some the other day. I did link some, but they might be gone now after I linked them because there was probably only a couple left. Every time you watch a live and you don't smash the like button, a knife is born with a weak detent. Does your knife have a weak detent? That's on you. Rochambeau's right, actually. You know, I heard that that's statistically true, that when you watch my shit or any other video and you don't hit the like button, if it's knife content, that another weak detent is born. So as double detent would say, make sure you hit the like button. Shout out to the new member, Double Detent. Welcome to the Benchmates. I do appreciate it. And by the way, Patreons. One of the giveaways this month, this is going to be one of the giveaways. It might not be this exact one because I have 4 of them. And don't talk shit the fact that I have 4 of these because I know a lot of people are trying to get them. Just know that there's going to be I don't want to give out their information, but they told me it's like 75 or something like that. There's going to be in stock on a certain day coming soon. And I'm going to make the video and drop it on the VOSTEED Mayhem. So I know they were in stock and they sold out really quick. So if you want to get a Mayhem, there's going to be some available very soon. Watch for my video. I'm going to post a video. This is the sheep's foot version. I have 4 of them right now. One's a prototype and the other one is a production one. I'm going to give a couple away to the Patreons. One of them is going to be the prototype. So it's not as solid as the actual version, but it's the same thing. It's the same thing. I'm not going to make it sound like it's bad. It's not. But yeah, so Patreons, you guys have some mayhems coming. But as far as you guys wanting to purchase them, they will be in stock very soon. My dog died in December, and having her name engraved on it, and it will sit on my desk for eternity. Very cool. Yeah, I'm a dog lover myself, man. I am an absolute dog lover. Right now, I'm helping my buddy train one of his dogs on Saturdays. Oh, Hinder Collector. What's up, brother? Shout out to Hinder Collector. He actually has a channel if you guys want to go and follow it. Check out his content. He definitely has a lot of Hinders. John P. We got a new member. Shout out to John P. Part of the Benchmates. I do appreciate all the support, guys. And that's another thing. Also, we're gonna do a members giveaway. The next membership live. So that's not this Sunday, but next Sunday we're gonna do a giveaway on the membership live. Okay, so let's do fragrance of the day, and then we'll do story time. So I want to talk about blue fragrances. It's summertime. It's hot as shit out. The best fragrances for hot weather are blue fragrances. What does blue fragrances mean? It means fresh, shower jelly, fresh. A lot of them are citrusy, but they're the fresh ones. They're the ones that most people love, right? When you think of like the best fragrances, most of the best men's fragrances are blue fragrances because they're fresh. They're, like kind of like the best smelling type of deodorant or the best smelling type of body wash. It has like that type of scent to it. And we're going to talk about a couple of my favorites and a couple of my most recommended. So one of them we're going to talk about today is Mercedes Move. Mercedes Move is a sweet, super fresh, very long lasting banger. This thing has a massive sillage, meaning people will smell you. It is very, very long lasting. If you spray this on your clothes, you'll smell it the next day. So it's money well spent. And it's not super duper expensive. I'm going to pull up the note breakdown because I do want you guys to see some of these moves, and then we are going to get to story time, where we talk about some shit. So here is, man, it smells so good. It's beautiful, a beautiful scent. Now I didn't link these. You guys are gonna have to go find them yourself. I'm trying to get an affiliate link for these, but if I link them right now, it's good. They're so expensive for me to link, and you can get them at discounters for so much more affordable. This is actually a fairly affordable fragrance right here, but there's the note breakdown. So you have aromatic, marine, salty, fresh, spicy, floral, citrusy, warm, spicy, vanilla, fresh, and sweet. It is definitely all of that. I would say the one thing I don't smell in there is the warm, spicy. There is no warm, spicy in there. If it is, it's mixed perfectly well, but it is a very summer fragrance. This is for hot weather, and damn it, is it good. High quality fragrance right here as far as the notes go in scent. Another one. So this is one that is one of my favorites. It's actually the one I'm wearing right now. Well, I'm kind of wearing a mixture between the Move and this one. Le Parfum. So so this is a YSL Le Parfum, and it is it's got an apple note in it. So the top note is a sweet apple. It has a little bit of tanginess to it. So it's a sweet, tangy apple on the top. Now, I'm not saying you're going to smell like apple. It's not like that. It's a note. So it has an apple note in it. So you can see top notes, apple, aldehydes, grapefruit, ginger. Middle notes are sage, lavender, geranium. Base notes are tonka bean, cedar, alabanium, I don't know what that is, and patchouli. Now, it is a very fresh, slightly sweet with that apple, that top apple that adds a little bit of sourness to it. The tonka bean in there adds there's something in there that definitely you smell and you're like, what is that? And you're trying to like pull it out. It smells so damn good. It definitely, almost all the YSLs, at least all the blue YSLs, have that note that really that screams YSL. But this is one of my most recommended blue fragrances, hands down. And this is perfect for extremely hot weather. Perfect. Now, this is probably my most recommended fragrance to date to you guys. And I recommend this one so much because it is so versatile. I would say it's the most versatile fragrance a man can get because it is a blue fragrance. It's a sweet fragrance, but it also has a hint of spice. You can wear this in the summer heat. You can wear this in the winter. You can wear this in the fall. You can wear this when it rains. You can wear this out on a date. You can wear this at a funeral. It doesn't matter. You can wear this fragrance anywhere, and that's Versace Dylan Blue. It has an absolute beautiful scent. This is, to me, it smells like it has like a black cherry top note with a little hint of spice in the background. Not spicy, but a hint of it with a little sweetness and a lot of fresh. Like, it's very fresh, very citrusy, slightly sweet, but banger. One of my most favorite fragrances of all time. Top notes are Calabrian bergamot, water notes, grapefruit, fig leaf. Middle notes are ambroxan. That's the little tiny bit of spicy. Black pepper that's also a little hint of the spicy. Patchouli, violet leaf, papyrus, however the hell you pronounce that. Base notes are incense, musk, tonka bean, and saffron. You definitely smell the incense, and not in a bad way, not like an incense shop or something like that. This is so affordable. There's no reason every single one of you don't have this fragrance. Get this fragrance. I'm telling you, thank me later. You'll fucking love it. And the girls around you will love it too. I've watched probably 24 street tests with this, where they'll spray themselves or spray a piece of paper or whatever, the scent things. And they'll go around with like 3 to 5 other fragrances and have girls on the street just smell them and tell them which one is the sexiest. Which one do you want your man to wear? And almost every single time, hands down, Versace Dylan Blue wins. Every single time. Check it out. So I do have a couple more here. If you want an absolute banger that's very, very, very affordable, you can get for like $20. Nautica Voyage. This is a cucumber fragrance. It's pretty long lasting. It's very fresh, definitely hot weather fragrance. You can't wear this in the winter though. This is absolutely not a winter fragrance. This one you can, but this one you cannot. This one you only can, well, you can do whatever the fuck you want. So to be honest, I wear summer and winter fragrances all year round, but it's made to be in the summer. It's made to be in the summer. It's a watery fragrance, very watery, very melony. It's got melon in there. So it's a sweet, no, wait. It's a fresh melony fragrance. So think like shower gel and deodorant mixed with melons. It's strong melon too. Really good. It's like really, really good. The cucumber note, they don't list cucumber in there, but you can smell it. And I'm not saying you're going to smell like a fucking cucumber. Again, it's a note. Anyways, there's a ton of other ones like, but we're about done with this. I'm going to end it right here, but, Blue Edition Chanel, that's another really good one. This, I would say, is the best date night fragrance. If you're going out on a date, it's very citrusy. This one is the Eau de Parfum, but this is one of the most recommended fragrances of all time for men. It's got a magnetic cap. It is a very quality fragrance. Like the oils in there are really good quality. It is pretty expensive though, and that's why I'm not really going to mention it. Even though I wasn't gonna, but it's very popular. It is good. It's really good. It's strong citrus, at least the Eau de Parfum. I think I have 2 different versions of this, but the Eau de Parfum, very citrusy, very fresh, super citrusy. You can wear this in an office. You can wear this anywhere, really. But a lot of ladies find this to be very, very, very sexy. Something about it. Even like Kara, when I spray it, I ask her, like, do you think this is like a sexy fragrance? And she's like, oh, hell yeah. Because, it's just, it's good. It's good. All right. So Voyage. Oh, I just messed up. I don't know what the hell I did. What the hell? Oh, there it goes. Voyage is one of the ones I really like. Works well in the office. It does, yeah. Nautica Voyage, man. It's like $20. I've had I've been buying Nautica Voyage for years. This is actually the fragrance that the first fragrance that got me into fragrances was the original Tommy Hilfiger. The second one was this. When I smelt this, I immediately got into fragrances. I didn't know fragrances could smell that good. And also, what I did was I walked into a fragrance shop, and there was three gals behind the counter, and I asked all three of them to grab their favorite men's fragrance, and all three of them grabbed this. All three. So when all three grab it, give it to me. Take my money. They didn't argue about it. They didn't even think about it. They literally all reached for it, like bam. So I was like, okay, there's something special with that one. And that was at the time when it was $60 a bottle. Now it's like $20 because it's been out for a while. Thought I would drop in for a quick minute. Can't stay long. I'm at work. Neeves Knives is the best YouTube channel for knives. Oh, and support your local knife shop. I like knives. Thank you, C. I appreciate you stopping in, even though you're at work. How do I feel about K39 or K110? It's D2. It's it's D2. That's what it is. So I think as long as it's heat treated well, it's a great steel. Not going to be the most corrosion proof or most corrosion resistance, but it's going to hold a really good edge as long as it's heat treated well. The problem with it is that some companies are not going to be able to heat treat it as well as some other steels. Not as well. Let me be clear. They're not going to be able to heat treat a mass production of them equally as good in most cases. Now, I'm not saying it's impossible. Civivi seems to have their shit down pat pretty good. I found that their D2 is actually pretty good. But as far as like just no name overseas companies that fucking, use a bunch of weird letters to make a name up for their knives and stuff, a lot of them are crap because they're doing them in mass production, and they're all going to be different HRCs. Prada Luna Rosa Original was the most panty dropping fragrance I ever worn. I actually I had a tester sample of that. It's actually pretty good, but they discontinued it for variants that absolutely suck. Fragrance industry is weird. I actually just tried the Prada Luna Rose. I don't know about the original, but I tried the new one. It's pretty good. I'm not going to buy a big bottle of it, but I didn't get to try the actual original. I'll tell you what, though, I do have a couple bangers on the way right now. Not cheap, but Tom Ford, Neeves, whatever is out of here. Nice. I have some Tom Ford right here. This is the first Tom Ford I've tried. I only have a little tiny bit left. This is Tom Ford Noir, and I hated it at first. I fucking hated it at first. This is one you have to let the dry down hit you, because when you first spray it, it smells like lipstick, or like not perfect lipstick, like burning lipstick or something. But you let it die down, and like 5 minutes later, the sillage is like, it's sweet. It's got a fruitiness to it. It's got a little bit of spice, a little bit of powder. Like, it's fucking fire. But you gotta let it dry down. But that's actually a beautiful thing, because with fragrances, the dry down is the most important part, because that's what you're going to be dealing with the longest, is the dry down. The first initial spray, it's nice when you like the first initial spray, but you always want to let it die down a little bit. And I don't mean just like 5 seconds. I mean like 10, 15 minutes, and then really smell it. What was the name? Dylan Mulvaney? What was one of them? No, Versace Dylan Blue. Versace Dylan Blue. Creed Silver Mountain Water. I got that right here. Steve, I got you, brother. It's pretty good. I like it. It's a good fragrance. I wouldn't buy a big bottle of it just because Creed is so expensive. I can think of a lot of fragrances that are kind of similar. But no, it's good. I think Creed makes just about anything good, and their oils are really good. But damn, they're so expensive. Got to catch story time and replay tomorrow. Dirty martini time, then dinner. All right, brother, take it easy. We're actually getting into story time in 1 minute. Tom Ford Tobacco Vanilla is absolutely insane. I'll tell you what, man. The Mancera red tobacco is absolutely insane. I do have a new tobacco fragrance on the way. It should be here tomorrow or the next day. I'm pretty excited about it. I'm fucking excited about it. I'll give you guys some feedback when I get here. Dude, for real, the new Civivi Sentinel looks so good right up in my wheelhouse. Get it now. Get it now. I'm telling you, get it now. I linked it. It's at the top of the description under arriving soon or something like that. What do I have it at? But coming soon. Blade HQ coming soon. Get it now, Mr. Flavor. Trust me. Get it now. Before it sells out, because it's going to be dropping on the 7th. So do you need diamond plates or CBN stones to sharpen CPM S35? No, you don't need it. You can sharpen S35 on just about everything, but the problem is, it's not the problem, but that's like the top. So that's the like the last steel you can get away with before you have to go to diamond. So I personally only sharpen it on diamond. I would recommend sharpening it on diamond. However, if you only have an aluminum oxide stone or some other type of stone, you can sharpen it on there. But in my opinion, your edges are going to come out much cleaner, much better, and more professional with diamond. Maybe not professional, but you know what I mean. What? Damn, I missed him talk about the Sentinel Strike. I did talk about it earlier. I got it. I'm gonna be reviewing it on the 7th. But I'm just telling you guys right now, right? I'm giving you guys a little heads up. Get it. That's all I'm gonna say. Get it. You're not gonna want to miss out on that one. If you like button locks, you're not gonna want to miss out on that one. Yeah, spoiler alert. It's good. It is good. But and it's gonna I don't know if it'll sell out, but Mercedes-Benz Man is my go-to. I have Mercedes-Benz. I have a couple different Mercedes-Benz. So far, Move is my favorite one. Man, it's so damn good. This is one of the best blue smelling fragrances you can get. And I've recommended it to other people, and other people have bought it and loved it too. It's completely different than like Dylan Blue. It's completely different than Nautica Voyage. These have like a similarness in that they're super duper fresh and fruity, or not fruity, but super duper fresh. One's a melon fragrance, and the other one has, I don't know, something else sweet in it. I just don't know what it is that sweetens it up. But let's get to story time. Yeah, there you go, Kenneth. That's what you got to do. You got to use my link, though. Make sure you use my damn link. Even if you pre-order it, use my link. I appreciate it. Because you know, we need those over here. We definitely really appreciate when you guys use our affiliate links. I promise you, I will never tell you to get something if I honestly don't like it or don't think it's good in order to get a sale. I will never, ever, ever, ever fucking do that. I will just tell you something else that's better. That's all I'll do. I promise you guys. If I think there's something wrong with this knife and I don't like it, I will recommend this knife, you know, or something like that. Like, I'm not going to tell you guys that something's good in order just to get the sale. I will never do that. And you know, I can't. The reason why is because, kind of like with what I said about Birdshot earlier, right? It's like, to me, I like Birdshot, man. And so I don't want this to be taken wrong. I do like Birdshot, but just from what he said with that whole Ma thing, like, that makes me not trust him. You know, you like the guy, so that means, you know, that doesn't make sense to me. Anyways, but, you know, you're going to buy it. If you buy the damn thing and then like let's say you buy it and then you get it and you're like, this fucking clip is horrible. You're going to contact me and say, Jared, how didn't you catch this clip? Why is it, this clip is so bad? Why didn't you say something about it? I bought it because you said it was good. I get it, and it's ripping my jeans. I'm going to feel like shit. And then now everybody's going to know I reviewed a knife and didn't even put it in my pocket. Or I did put it in my pocket and I didn't tell you. Or maybe no lock bar access. Or maybe it has ridiculously thick geometry, which has happened to me so many times. You know how many times I bought a knife off of a review because the reviewer said it was amazing, how awesome it was, and how great it cut. And then I get it and I'm like, This thing's 50 thousandths behind the edge. What's up, baby? Oh shit. Cue Ball. Shout out to Cue Ball. Thank you for the 5 bones. Jared, thank you for helping make this fat guy smell somewhat presentable at Blade Show 2023. You are very welcome. And the fragrance I recommended to him was Versace Pour Home, which is another phenomenal blue fragrance. I hate to get back into fragrances, but this is my most recommended office fragrance. Office fragrance, you can wear, like, it's one that is always going to be nice. Nobody will ever think it's bad. It's very fresh. It's very it kind of smells like dryer sheets almost, in a way, like fresh, clean linen. And that's what's beautiful about it. And so that's why it's so good anywhere you go. And nobody would ever think it smells bad. You can't. It smells clean, fresh. Okay, so story time. Not the case with the Sentinel, but Ziphius. But because the Ziphius objectively is better, but I love Svivi for making their high-end designers a lot of the time, like the Vision, Svivi. Yeah, well, I like that they do that too. They allow you to get knives that are in their premium line and their budget line, in their premium line and their budget line. Do you know what I mean? Like, the fact that you can get both, because people have different price categories. And I was there, man. Like, I know I get a lot of premium knives now, but I also get a lot of budget knives, and I buy a lot of budget knives. So there's times where I'm like, man, I just wish I could get this in a budget knife, because I like the design that much that I don't really need it in a premium knife. I'd rather just have it in a budget knife, or vice versa, where it's like, it's so good I need it in a premium version. Okay, so yes, they do. Even Knife Pivot Lube has a scent to it. So does Gunny Juice. I always considered light blue an office scent. Light blue. Mercedes blue. That's another banger. It's these 3 fragrances are almost identical. Michonne Wave, Versace Pour Home, and Coach Blue. They are very fresh, citrusy, fresh, like dryer sheet, like clean linen type of fragrances with a little bit of citrus and super duper fresh. All right, so if you can only have one of the Civivis on sale right now, which one would you get? On sale? On the sale? Man, the Picaro, bro. The Picaro's amazing. But you have to like washers. Okay, so I personally would get the shredder. I'd get the shredder. That's what I'd get. I'd get the Civivi shredder. It has an insanely thin grind, just like the Picaro, but it's on bearings. The Governor's another good one. The Riffle's another good one. But yeah, I personally would grab the shredder right now. Okay, so let's get into story time. Just ordered the Nautical Voyage for only $20. There you go, spoof. I know you didn't use my link because I didn't link it, but I almost wish I would have. But I'm trying to get one. I'm going to get one. I am going to get I'm going to contact some fragrance companies and see if I can't get an affiliate link. What's with Microtech's new M39? We were talking about it earlier. Before we get into story time, I'll explain this. So they just adjusted it, some stuff in it. It's basically the same thing. Supposedly it holds a little bit better of an edge. I would say they should have just upped their HRC on their 20 CV or M390 instead of changing anything. I forget what they added into it, nitrogen or something. I don't know what the fuck they did, but I personally think it's just M390. A couple little changes to it. But what they should do is just up their HRC. The problem is their shit is too soft. Jared, have you looked at the Wii Primoris? No, I don't think so. What is that? Wii Primoris? Oh, it's on sale right now. I have not checked that one out. No, I do not know about that one, Derek. I'm sorry. Stonehands. I stay away from Gerber. Now, I rarely will ever tell you guys to not buy certain knives. Like I'll tell you if a knife is bad, but like as far as a company goes, right? Even with all the Liang Ma stuff, I've never told you guys don't buy a Liang Ma knife. I've never said that. I've just told you my experience with him and let you guys do whatever you guys want. With Gerber, M-Tech, I tend to say don't buy them. And I say that just because I have yet to have had a good one. I'm sure the Gerber Strong Arm is a good fixed blade, but as far as folding knives goes, I have yet to have experienced a good folding knife from Gerber. I'm sure there's one out there. I just haven't tried it. Same thing with like M-Techs. I'm sure there's a good M-Tech out there. I just wouldn't recommend it. How is the Civivi pintail? It's awesome. I love the pintail. It's a small knife. Well, it's a smaller knife. It's about the size of the Elementum. It's really, really good. Super snappy, great detent, super deep hollow grind. My only issue with it is the ergos are small. So I have big hands, so I can't get a full grip on it the way I want to, like I can on the Elementum, because the flipper tab kind of pushes them down. However, if you have medium size hands, you'll be just fine, or small hands, you'll be good. But it's a very good knife. Highly recommend that knife. You can watch my review on it. I highly recommended it a long time ago. All right. Juice. What? Sorry, Ocean Pacific Juice. OP Juice is the shit, man. It's not overpowering, or it wasn't back in the day. Got to get a new bottle. I need to try that one. Ocean Pacific Juice. Huh. The Gerber fastball cleaver looks dope. I just can't pull the trigger on $200 Gerber. I know, and I'm worried about it failing or having lock rock. Pintail cost value for the steel and bill is insane. Yeah, that's why that video earlier, I called it out. The pintail is such a good value. You can't beat that. You cannot beat that price, especially for when you consider the most important things: geometry, action, tolerances, fit and finish, heat treat. All that's there. Every bit of it's there. It has incredible geometry. It's like mine was like, I mean, it's thin going all the way up the blade. Like it's a deep hollow. Okay, so the story I was going to tell was about the time I accidentally became a fugitive. So what is an actual fugitive? So a fugitive is when you jump state to get away from from being prosecuted, right? That's basically what a fugitive is. Now, my intentions weren't to do that, but what happened was I went down to Florida, and on the way back after my badass trip to Florida, stayed down there for like a month, doing all kinds of shit, having a great damn time. And I was on my way back. Man, I smell that that Tom Ford Noir. So good. So I was on my way back and I was going through the Appalachian Mountains in North Carolina. Well, on my way back, I got one getting pulled over. I had a ton of people in the car, some kids, some adults, and some of them were like smoking weed and shit like that, but got pulled over. And I didn't know, but my license was expired. Okay. So it's something petty as shit. So they arrested me for having no license, and which is ridiculous because it's just expired. I still have a license. They can see I still have a driver's license. It's just expired. I just need to go and renew it. Right. But where I got pulled over was a tourist trap. If you guys don't know what a tourist trap is, a tourist trap is basically it's a place where tourists always go or have to drive through in order to get to a destination. And if you're a tourist, you're going to get pulled over. So if they see out of state license plates, which they always will, because like where I was, right, it bumped up to other states. So everybody was from out of town. You didn't drive through this town unless if you were from out of town. So everybody gets arrested. And so it makes it where they are just constantly getting out of towners, right? So I was set up basically. So I get rolled. They are arresting me for that. The person I was with also had some stuff on them and got arrested for that. So I get locked up, and the story getting locked up was just crazy as shit. So I'm in North Carolina, and I am in, I don't want to say Hickville, but I'm in a country ass place. Let's just say that country as fuck. Well, just going to jail, getting into the cop car was an absolute piece of shit. I mean, it seemed like a car that should have been, and you start questioning like what's really going on. Like, is this some Texas Chainsaw Massacre shit? Because this cop car should have been junked 10 years ago, like that, right? Gets me in the back of the cop car. And instead of going forward, or maybe he was trying to go in reverse, he did the opposite. So like he looked back like to go backwards, but then drove forward, or I think it was the opposite way. So he had it in the wrong gear, first off, right off the bat, and almost wrecked. And it was just like completely ridiculous. And I remember thinking, like, what the hell is going on? And then as we start driving, this car is making so much noise. I mean, it just sounds like it's gonna fall apart. And I'm thinking, like, what is going on? And then as we're driving to the police station for me to go to jail, it doesn't look like we're going to a police department. Like, it looks like we're going to somebody's house. And then when we pull up, the jail looks like a giant house. It looks like the house from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I swear to God. And when I looked at it, I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, this is Texas Chainsaw. That's what I was thinking. And I'm thinking, like, how is this a jail? Like, my brain is just scrambling right now, trying to like build a jail inside this giant house, like how it could be, right? Because you start thinking, like, how are they building this thing inside of here? Like, is this real? Like, do I need to try to run? Should I be fighting for my life? That's what I'm thinking, right? So, but then I get in there, right? And I get in there, I realize, okay, it's an actual jail. It just they must have took, I don't know, some Victorian giant, I don't know, but it was like a giant, it was a huge, huge house. Like I said, just like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, same thing. Um, but they so I went in there, and when I went in there, they were being really cool actually after I got in there. Like the cops are complete dicks. Fucking assholes. But the correction officers they were cool. They were really cool. Fingerprinted me, took pictures, all that shit. And I'm thinking, I'm about to sign myself out because here in Illinois, if you get arrested for a punk ass misdemeanor like that, you just sign yourself out. Like it's that easy. You get booked, get your shot, get your mug shots, get fingerprinted, and then you sign a paper saying I'll show up to court, and you leave. Right? When you come back to court, then you can pay your shit. Right? You don't have to get a bail bondsman or nothing. Well, it's not like that there. And because I'm from Illinois, I'm a flight risk. So I can't pay 10% because that's another way too, is in Illinois, you can get bailed out for 10%. So say if they won't let you sign yourself out, they'll say 10%, you can get bonded out, bailed out, not bonded, bailed out. Well, because I'm a flight risk and I'm from Illinois, I can't get 10%. So whatever the charge is, that I have to pay the max. I have to pay every penny of it to get out. Well, remember, I'm with somebody who also got popped for some shit, and they're giving me that charge. So the charge that somebody else got, they are putting on me too. So now I have two charges, which was, I think, um, marijuana pills and um, no license. Anyway, so the charges just went up, and so I'm like, fuck, man. And then so I go into jail, right? Or no, I'm not in jail yet. I'm outside the jail. They handcuffed me to this plastic chair, and it's a plastic chair I can literally pick up and run off with. It's like so light. I could, carry it all around. Well, I'm sitting there and I'm chained to this damn thing. And normally I've been chained to things before, but it's always like a bar on a wall or on like on an actual seat that you can't pick up. Like it's always in a place where you can't break loose, right? Being chained to a plastic chair doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? This cop walks by and he looks at me and he's like, "Why are you chained to a plastic chair?" And I said, And I'm confused now. I'm like, I don't know. I thought this was your standard fucking procedure. And he's like, I've never seen it. He's like, you could just get up and run with it. He's like, it doesn't make sense. And I'm thinking, like, are they fucking with me? Like, they have to be fucking with me. And so now I'm like, fuck it. I'm gonna walk. So I start getting up and walking around the chair. Well, they get pissed. They don't like that. So then they bring in one of those chairs. I forget what it's called. It's called something, but it's basically where they strap you, hands, feet, gag. They basically bag and gag you. Like it's where you can't spit, you can't do anything. And they were threatening to put me in there. Um, I didn't end up getting put in there. But then I found out I could smoke in there. I was really happy because at the time I smoked cigarettes, and that was like the biggest problem I was having. Like, I need a fucking cigarette. Well, then I found out I can smoke cigarettes in there. So I was like, oh shit, you can smoke cigarettes in this place? You know, it's North Carolina. So I was like, fuck yeah. Well, they put me in the jail, this cell with 18 other men. This is a 10 person cell, 10, 12 person cell. So it's a fire hazard. Like this is toxic because there's restrictions and rules, right? So they can't fill a jail up past maximum, capacity because it's a fire risk and people are going to be sleeping in horrible conditions. Well, they didn't give a fuck. So they're just packing us into this cell. It does have beds, but there's not enough beds for everybody. So now you're either fighting for a bed, sleeping on concrete, sleeping on wet floors, like disgusting, right? And these people that are in there, some of them are withdrawing, like, I mean, like in a horrible way. Like one guy clawed his skin off of his arm completely. Like he had clawed, like, because you get like that, when you're like going through serious like opiate withdrawals, and he clawed his skin off. And a lot of people were like that, like just like in a bad place. And they kept telling me how I wasn't getting out because they all were there for stupid shit. One guy was in there, he had been in there for a month for a quarter ounce of weed. And when I heard that, like that just made my heart drop because I'm thinking I'm going to be getting out in an hour. Like it's a fucking expired driver's license. I'll get out. Like, and then even with the other charges, like to me, it was all petty shit. Anyway, so they were like, you're not going anywhere. They're like, unless if you're rich, you're not going anywhere. But they did tell me, they said, what you can do is if you have money or if you have connections to get money, you can get a hold of Doobie. You guys can look this guy up if you want. He's Bales Bondsman Doobie. And he even has like doobies on, like it's a whole thing. Anyway, so Bales Bondsman Doobie. I got a family member. I made my call. I called the person that I know is going to take care of business and make sure I get out. And which was my old man at the time. My old man, did his shit, made sure I got out. But he contacted this Bales Bondsman to come get me out, right? And it costed a lot of money, like a lot of money, and a ridiculous amount of money. But here's the thing: we get that money back as long as I show up to court, right? So as long as I don't jump bail or anything or jump court, then I'll get the money back. So, as I'm in there, right? I'm in there. I wasn't in there that long. I was just in like overnight. But I was hanging out with all these dudes, and we were telling stories and shit. And they were people that had never been to like flatlands. Like that's what you would call like up north or Yankees, Chicago area. It's all flatlands, right? Well, down there it's all mountains. So like they were like asking me so many questions about like Illinois, and they're like, I heard you could see like as far as you can see and stuff. And it's like, yeah, So they were asking me all kinds of questions about that. And we were just talking, hanging out. It was an okay time, but the problem was that they kept bringing people in, and the COs were actually getting mad, saying that they were thinking about calling the fire department to come in there and shut them down because these cops will not stop bringing people in there, and they're beyond capacity. Like they could be sued, right? Basically, they could be sued. I could have sued them for sure. Like what you could consider what they were doing was, inhumane. But luckily I had cigarettes, so I was good. As long as I had cigarettes, I was fine. They had medication time, and medication time was crazy. So this lady comes and she comes to pass out medications, but she's giving out good shit, right? So these fucking inmates hit the bars like it's the dope man. It basically is. And they're handing out pills like candy. And I didn't realize when I was going in there, they kept asking me about what I was on, what I needed, stuff like that. And I thought they were trying to get me to snitch on myself at the time, you know, so I wasn't telling them nothing. I realized that they were just trying to see what type of medication I needed so they could give it to me. And I could have told them anything, you know, and they would have made sure I got it, which is, it's really cool, to be honest, if you think about it. The one guy was going through serious withdrawals because, like, you know, they obviously can't give him what he needs, but they can give him enough to kind of help it. But you're going to go through a horrible time either way, at least for the first couple of days. Anyway, so I get the hold of the bail bondsman. The bail bondsman comes, gets me out. And when the bail bondsman gets me out, it's cool. I'm happy. Like, fuck yeah, I'm out of this bitch. I'm going home. I'm broke, absolutely broke right now, you know, and I got lucky because my uncle, shout out to my uncle, an absolute fucking G, knew better. He knew what was up. He knew the deal. So he stashed some money under my seat just in case. If nothing ever happened, I would have never known the money was there or not there. I would have never known my uncle did this for me, but he did it for me as just in case. So when I got out of jail, he calls me up. He's like, hey, look under your seat. You know, he's like, put your hand in here under the seat. So I did, pulled out a stack of money. I was like, fuck yeah. So got back on the road and started heading home. Get me home. Now, here's how they turned me into a fugitive. I had to come back for court, right? So they were trusting me because I already paid. So I come all the way back. This is months later, right? I have a court date. Come all the way back, and I'm in contact with the lawyer, right? The whole way, like not the whole way, but like during the process. And we have a deal to meet up, yada, yada, yada. What?
My friend figured out what the rock is.
Okay, well, can we talk about it after I'm in the middle of a story? I'm in the middle of a story.
Look. It's Desert Rose.
Oh.
Look at it.
Oh, yeah, it is. That's right. Oh, yeah.
Show the people.
So I've had this rock for like 20 years, and I never knew what it was. Kara just found out it's Desert
my friend
Rose.
Braden figured it out. 17-year-old genius.
A little 17-year-old just figured that out.
Whipped it out. Just Desert Rose.
What's his name?
Braden.
Thanks, Braden.
You know who Braden is.
So, well, I'm saying thank you to him. So where the fuck was I? I hate when I get interrupted because then I can't never remember. So I go back to court and he doesn't show up. My lawyer. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I kind of messed up. Not the bail bondsman, the lawyer. I wanted getting a lawyer. Sorry. The bail bondsman told me a lawyer. Okay. So the bail bondsman that got me out recommended this certain lawyer, said it's his friend, blah, 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 blah. Paid the lawyer, right, to show up to court for me. I had to show up to court, 14 or 16-hour drive from where I'm at here. Went all the way there and went to court, and he doesn't show up. And I stayed like for hours all the way to the end of court. And the judge pulls me back up at the end, and he's like, well, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to set you up a new court date when we get in contact with your lawyer. So stay in contact with your lawyer. We'll have him set you up a new court date because he's in here like every day. So they know who he was. So I'm like, cool. Right. So I don't have a court date, but I'm going to have one. I leave. This is all a setup, by the way. I know for a fact this was all set up. I leave, go back home. I try to call my lawyer who I've already gave thousands of dollars to, right? I'm supposed to get the money back from bail bondsman. As long as I don't skip court, as long as I show up to court, I'm going to get my money back. But I haven't technically been to court yet because, you know, I have to go through the process, right? I come back home, months go by, and he's not answering. I call him like 1,000 times. Then out of nowhere, a few months later, he calls me up and says, hey, you're a fugitive. You didn't show up to court. And I started freaking out. Like, what are you talking about? I've called you and left you 18 messages. And he tried to lie and say he talked to my dad. My dad was right next to me. He was like, the fuck he did. My dad was going crazy. Like, he's like, and you could hear it in his voice. He was lying. You could hear it in his voice. The guy was lying. And he said, you were supposed to have court last week or something like that. You didn't show up. So you basically jumped court. Now, you know, you're considered a fugitive, but it's a misdemeanor. So they're not coming for me. Right. It's just a misdemeanor. So it's not that big of a deal because I wound up getting, like they dropped the pill thing and they were only trying to hold me up for like the licensing because they couldn't hold me up for the other stuff because I didn't have possession or anything like that. Anyways, so I started looking into it like, okay, well, I just won't go back to North Carolina, right? Like, what are the sister states for North Carolina? I found out the sister states and said, okay, I don't get to go to Alabama. I don't get to go to here and I don't get to go here because they're sister states. And if I get caught there, they'll transport me. So I got to stay out of states that'll transport me there. And I did. And I had to stay out of it, I think, for 11 years. And so after 11 years, everything's done now because it's been too long. But, you know, they would have been trying to hold that against me for that long, you know. And it's just so pathetic. Like, because what they did was they literally kept all my money. They kept probably, I don't know, $10,000 or $12,000. So the bail bondsman, he got paid and the jail got paid, right? And then the lawyer wound up getting my money. I think it was like $3,000 or something to get him to be my lawyer. Which the bail bondsman is the one who you know, hooked me up with him. You know, he didn't never show up ever, so he fucked me over. So he kept my money, and it was like they knew that once I became a fugitive, I wasn't coming back. Right? Who is gonna? I'm in Chicago. I'm not going back to North Carolina. I'm not saying anything bad about North Carolina. I'm saying this little town in North Carolina. Who's gonna go back to there, right? For a misdemeanor. And I already did. So wound up working out. But yeah, redonkulous. So the warrant, you know, I don't even know what happened to the warrant. It was nothing. Like like I said, it was a misdemeanor, so it wasn't shit. But the point was that I did have to be careful after that about going to certain states because I didn't want, like I said, this place was weird, man. Like it when you're out of your natural environment, things are a little weird. And I don't mean like just because of the people and stuff, but like just the routine. Like I felt like the whole time, like I was being set up, I was being fucked over, and I actually was to some extent. Um, and it's doesn't matter. But I was in jail for a violent crime, so I didn't have a bond. Yeah. Depending on your crime, depends on whether or not you get one or not. It's up to the judge. The judge decides your fate when it comes to that. There's like procedures, right? Depending on the level, depending on this, depending on that. It's kind of like with my felony. Like I got a class 1 and a class 2. But instead of going to trial because I would have lost, I pled out to a 2 and a 3 in order not to go to jail because I would have, I believe at the time a class 1 was mandatory 1 year, I believe, or something like that. So in order for me not to go to jail or prison, sorry, I pled out to in order not to go to trial and all that, which then they reduced my sentence and made it to where I could get out on probation. But if I fucked up my probation, I would have been held to the other standard and would have done a year. It's a huge problem here. They overcharge you and then offer you a lesser plea. Most do it rather than sit in jail for at least 1 to 2 months and lose their job. No, I've known so many people that like that's how it is. Like they're literally they have a choice, right? And this is the sad thing about pleading out. People think because somebody pleads out, and I was guilty. I'm not saying this, but I'm saying a lot of people might not be guilty or could actually beat the case, but they plead guilty and they plead out for a lesser sentence because otherwise they're going to have to sit. Like I've been locked up with people that have sat for way over a year. Like one guy was in there for 2 years, still fighting his case. Think about that. Being locked up, not in prison, in jail, which is even worse. Like people would rather go to prison than go to jail. There's a lot of reasons, but being locked up for 2 years and going to court and you're not convicted yet. You're not convicted. Like you're still technically innocent. Like that's fucked up. Did you? Oh, Kara's in here talking to people. You don't want to go to jail in Alabama? No cap. I do not. No, I've heard about Alabama jails. I think actually technically the worst jail in the country is in Alabama. I'm pretty sure. So I've seen a lot of videos. So there's a lot of them are bad. There's a lot of bad ones, but there's different levels and different kinds of bad. You know, like there's like bad from like hygiene and like it's not humane, and then there's bad like violence, then there's bad like gangs, like there's different levels and different versions of bad depending on where you're going. Hell yeah, it is. My uncle's a G, man. He was the shit, and this the thing is that he was already back home. Like he had done this a week or two before. So for 2 weeks, I drove because for 2 weeks I was still down there, and he left and went home. And so this was weeks later when this happened. So he, he knew just in case I need to take care of this boy. I was in a 10-person cell that had 22 people in there. 12 had to sleep on the floor. Yeah, that's the way it was for us. We had to sleep on the floor, sit on the floor, lay on the floor. Everything was on the fucking floor. And the problem is there's a shower there too, and the water comes out of it. So it's like on the ground, and you're doing what you can not to get soggy, not to get wet. And there's not much you can do. But this was an actual jail, like bars, real bars. Like a lot of jails are metal doors and like bulletproof glass and stuff. This was a real jail, real cell. I've been in a few that are like that, but this one was rusty ass bars and shit. Just ordered the Civivi Cubit. Is it as good as people say? I think so. It's actually what I'm carrying right now. I love the Cubit, man. I hope you use my link fully. Don't be telling me that shit and then tell me you didn't even use my link. But yeah, it's a great one, man. One of my most recommended. It could possibly be, as of right now, my favorite budget knife. Just it's so slicey. Like, look at this blade. 67 thousandths in the middle right here. That's thin. And then it's like 9, 10, 12 thousandths behind the edge. So this thing slices so good. And then the blade shape is perfect for detailing work, super fidgety. Yeah, this is an absolute winner. Absolutely. I recommend it to everybody. How can I get a Winter Blades Factor for my buddy for a wedding gift? You can't. The only way you can is if you get in on the pre-orders when they show up. They're closed now, so you got to wait till when they drop. And then if there's any available, you can buy one. If not, you got to wait till the next pre-order drop. I'm sure he'll do more. He'll probably do like 1 or 2 a year drop. So the only other way is you can maybe go online. Like if you're really desperate, you can go online and make some posts saying if somebody has one for sale or if somebody's willing to sell one, get in contact with me. Maybe we can work out a deal. You can do things like that, like on Instagram and stuff. What is a good knife for the budget of $100? Well, the Civivi Cubit is $65. That's a really, really good one. I love the Civivi Elementum button lock. This one's the gravity knife one, so you have to swing it. I love how it sounds. Listen to this. Listen to this. But that's $65. The drop bear, the Kaiser drop bear or the Kaiser Escort is what I would recommend to you. Kaiser Escort for about 89 bucks. You can get the micarta one or the drop bear. I would recommend getting this version of the drop bear, the aluminum one, for $105. This one is the 20 CV version, so this one's more money. Fully, he's a new member. Shout out to you, man. Appreciate you. We got a new Benchmade member. Thank you for the support. we'll be doing a giveaway to the members the next live. So not this Sunday, but next Sunday we'll have a members live. Did you see the Demco 20.5 Tontos and 3V coming in DLT? I did. I also seen or I did the video earlier. They have the one in OS 10 for $130. Have you ever trusted your representation in court? Yes, actually a couple times. I've been represented very, very well. I used to have a family lawyer that I trusted pretty well. But aside from that, I had a public defender that I relied on multiple times. And because me and him had a relationship of him defending me, I knew he was good. Like, this guy didn't want to be a lawyer. He liked being a public defender. And I knew when he went to court, he was going to court to actually fight for me. I'm not saying they're all like that. I'm not even going to say some, like, you might not ever meet one that's like that. But this guy was legit. And I know, even to this day, like, if I see him, like, I'm dabbing him up because he went to war for me. And there was another one that did the same thing kind of for me when I was in jail and I was trying to get out, trying to go to my dad's funeral. He pulled some strings for me too. But yeah, you can get good representation. That's their job. Their job is supposed to. But yeah, you're gonna get some shitty ones too. I love the escort. Now, smitten with the sheepdog, clutch lock all over. I know. Yeah, that one is dope too. I love that. The Kaiser sheepdog, the new one, the aluminum one, it's really good. It's really, really good. It feels different too. That's the thing. Like it's so different than the liner lock. Having that clutch lock changes everything. This knife is dope. We'll check out some knives really quick. This thing is so dope. 14C for like $115 or something. Listen to that sound. Yeah, this is a good one. It's so fidgety. That one's gonna be pretty popular, I think. The Arcane. Ooh, the Arcane design. This is, I think, man, what was the date? This is really good. I do have a video on it. You can go watch. Again, man, Arcane kicks ass with their designs and Riet kicks ass with the execution. Undeniably good. And I like that they have aggressive designs. I got to give Arcane credit for that. They actually do aggressive designs that are very useful. So shout out to Arcane Designs. That is the Arcane Creature. I do have a full video on it. You can go and see. The Mayhem is another one that I've been really, really liking. Like I said, I have both versions, the sheep's foot, like this one, and the Warncliffe, and I will be giving away some to the Patreons. I have 2 of them that I can give away because I have 4 altogether. So I know you guys are probably pissed. How the fuck do you have 4? It has a tiny bit of side-to-side play. You might be able to tighten it out. I don't know. I need to check it. But it's really good though. So good. These D10s are so solid. Like, it has such a solid breaking D10. It's crazy how strong. Not crazy, but it's so well tuned. This is a good one. This is definitely going to be a popular one. The only thing is I wish the geometry was thinner. I noticed the Warncliffe is a little bit better than the sheep's foot, but they're still, both of them could lose some thinning around the waist. I think this is the Warncliffe, or is this another sheep's foot one? No, this is another sheep's foot one. I got a blacked out Warnie and then a silver Warnie. I don't know which one I'm going to give away yet, but have you handled the Civivi Baltar yet? That blade profile looks mean, and for no reason I can figure out. I don't even know what that is. Civivi. Oh no, that's a new one. I hopefully I'll get it before it drops. I don't know if this was dropping on the 7th or not with the other ones, but if it does, then I don't know. Hopefully I'll get one beforehand. Stone hands. It's Clydesdale from New. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, the Clydesdale, the new breed Clydesdale. Any of these knives, just scroll down. Go to my most recent videos. You can literally see the thumbnail. It has it in the thumbnail. I'm showing you knives that I've recently checked out. Except for some of the other knives I was fucking around with. But yeah, that's the Clydesdale. I had a police department like that. Friend's mom worked for court, was terrified I would rat him out, so she pulled strings to get him appointed to me. Had to go to court 7 times, but saved my hiney. What's the best sounding knife you have? Just order the Purple Kaiser. Probably the Factor. Depends on what type of noise, because I have different types of noises for different knives, like slip joints. I have my favorite sounding slip joint. I have my favorite sounding ting sound. I really like the Demco 8020's ratcheting sound. I love that. But as far as like the ting sound, definitely the Factor. Were you allowed to say when they drop? Somebody already said that Knife Center wrote it on their thing. It's on the 7th, so very soon, a little over a week. Purple Kaiser looks great. The Clydesdale just comes in the all tie. It's tie with steel liners. So titanium scales, titanium clip, backspacer, steel liner lock. Thoughts on the Hinder half track? I love the half track. I have one. I like the half track a lot. I think it's a solid knife. My only complaint would be, because listen, you guys got to understand, I think Hinder does some of the best build quality, period. Especially for knives, $600 and less. Their build quality is top notch. I love the USA tough build. They're built like a damn vault. I love that. And they have fantastic action. There's so much to love about the Hinders. Except for their flipper tab. Their flipper tabs are pokey. I don't know why they won't fucking address that. But aside from that, the problem I have with them is their heat treats. They do soft heat treats. Their steel is soft. Their edge retention does not last very long. Like even my Magna Cut one over there, granted, it's still a factory edge, but that thing went dull after using it like 2 or 3 times. So yeah, the Mayhem is fire too. Purple Kaiser looks. I read that one. I lost a bearing washer from F22 kickstop, and Steel Addiction doesn't get back to me. Any idea about what size it is or how I could get another one? Yeah, just get a new set of bearings. Take your bearings out, get some calipers and measure them. I'm not sure what it's going to be. It's most likely going to be this size. I'm going to show you the size. It's most likely, but I'm not saying it absolutely is. But look at the size right there. That's most likely the size and the numbers. I can't confirm that that's exactly what it is, but that's probably what it is, give or take. But what you got to do is you got to measure it, and then you can just order a set of bearings. You can get skiffs. You can get this is skiffs. You can get I can't even think of his name right now. Gillian. There's a bunch of different scales or a bunch of different bearings you can get, or you can just get the standard ones that go in there for like $5 online. I like getting the badass ones, especially for a knife like the F22. I don't know. I think it's around like 4 something for the texture titanium atom. I think it's like 375 or 475 or something like that. I forget. And is it word of mouth? Listen, Hinder fella. And is it word of mouth? I don't know what that means. What do you think of the SE folders and SK5 steel? I don't know about SK5 steel. I don't know anything about SK5. Um, I can't say anything about it. I don't know nothing about it. TRM Adam Ty versus Herman Sting. Herman Sting versus Les George. Herman Sting. I'd say Herman Sting. I'd say the Les George is tougher. It's going to be a lot more harder use. But as far as just quality, the Herman Sting is just superior to both of those. I'm sitting here singing murder while pulling out all my knives in front of my daughter and her boyfriend. Okay. Well, hopefully nothing bad happens. Delete your account now. If you are just joining, don't forget to hit the damn like button. Thank you, Breeze. Yes, please hit the like button if you're just joining right now, or if you're just taking off, because we'll be taking off here in just a couple minutes. I figured I'd run this one a little bit later. He's heading home now. Photo memory, can't help it. Just ask my ex-girlfriend. What was the second to last knife called in your last video about the 2023 ones? It was badass one. The second to the last knife in my last video. My last video wasn't the 2023 one though. So you're saying that particular last video. Let me just look really quick. So you're talking about the you're talking about the top 15 favorite knives. That's the one you're talking about. Sorry, let me just see right here. I always link everything down in the description, so all you gotta do is look in the description. Um, sorry guys. Oh, the Civivi Cubit? Is that what you're talking about? This knife? This one? That's the Civivi Cubit. It's linked down in the description of that video. Just go in that video. Everything's linked in order. Exactly how I placed it in the video. I do that in every single video, guys. Every single video. And if you guys are ever wanting to know how to find my sharpening supplies and stuff, let me show you guys something. I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to teach you guys something today. Let me show you guys something. So if I go over here and I go to my home channel. Okay, so I'm going to teach you guys something. And you do this on any channel, any YouTube channel. So when you're at the home page, so this is my home page. So you see how it says home right here? You guys see that? See where it says home? So then you see videos, shorts, live, playlist, I messed up. Playlist, community, memberships, blah, 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 blah. You can go to playlists, click playlists. These are all my playlists. So here's my knife collection videos. Here's my self-defense knife videos. Here's my knife sharpening videos. Where's it at? Knife sharpening. I don't know why it's not a sharpening thing, but 151 videos in knife sharpening. Now, there's a ton of other videos that have knife sharpening in it as far as reviews go. And reviews, there's first impressions. First impressions are there's going to be the majority of videos in first impressions, 858 videos. And because I don't review every single knife, but that shows you exactly how to find my content or things. Now, if you go to videos, this is going to be in order now. So when you hit videos, you're going to go in order. So you can scroll down from my most recent video all the way to, you know, my fifth most recent, sixth, seventh, eighth, whatever. And when you click on the videos, everything is linked in the description. So if you need to know how to go in the description, this is how you go in the description. Let me show you guys. So say if this, can you guys see that? Yep. So if you watch, I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to see show more right here. You hit that. Now that's the description. And then you have all this stuff. See more stuff on sale. The first knife I showed in this video was the Picaro. Second one was the Backlash. And I listed them all down. Now, if there's no link underneath it, it doesn't mean it's not available. It means I don't have an affiliate link. But every single thing from that video, I had an affiliate link. Cameron. 5 bones. Thank you, brother. I appreciate the super sticker. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What was it? Oh, the swole. Big swole. Thank you, Cameron. I appreciate it. DLT Trading has some Hermans dropping tomorrow. Yeah, I don't know why DLT won't fuck with me. So, Neeves, which one got the 20 million views? I think it's like 23 million. Most illegal knife, or one of the most illegal knives, or sorry, a real gravity knife, one of the most illegal knives. That's what got the 23 million. I have a lot of videos that are over 1 million though. That one went crazy viral though. I really like that Ferrum Forge button lock that you showed us at the knife show. Any sign of when it will be out? The Ferrum Forge button lock. Was that the Stinger? It was the Stinger button lock, right? I think that's already out. Am I right? Is that the one you're talking about? You're talking about this one? I think this is what you're talking about. Let me just check because it's already out. I can give it to you right now. Link down in the description. Blade HQ, which I have linked. You can go to any of the Blade HQ links. I have the one linked right at the top of the chat, which is their the stuff that it just dropped, the new arrivals or whatever. You can go in there, but if you're talking about this one, it's right here. Just go to Blade, just go to my link down in the description, go to Blade HQ and just search Ferrum Forge Stinger. Or just Ferrum Forge, it should pop up. Jared's video helping create more criminals one gravity knife at a time. Oh man, that one I seen before. I even got in a knife. Somehow it went out to everyone. I don't know which one that one is. Which one? If you really want to ask sharpening questions, the best is to hit up a Sunday members only live where Jared does actual sharpenings every second Sunday. Thank you, Todd. Yes, for the memberships, I do live sharpenings every that's what the membership is. The membership is teaching knife sharpening, and I do giveaways and stuff too, but it gives people an opportunity to come talk to me live about knife sharpening while I'm sharpening, and I can literally teach you right there. Like if you're asking questions, I can do it in front of you and show you. And then if you're a Rockstead, if you're a member, the top tier member, I'll do a one-on-one with just me and you with cameras so that I can see what you're doing. You can see what I'm doing. Anyone else disappointed that VOSTEED didn't release the mayhem they showed in the teaser pics with more raw finish? The shiny finish on the prod models just don't do justice for me. I don't know what you mean. I thought they came out great. Maybe I'm not understanding what you mean, but there's going to be some more dropping soon. What is a good steel that can be sharpened with stones that aren't diamond stones? Anything S35 and under, 14C, 9CR, 10CR, AUS 10, AUS 8, 154 CM. The easiest steels are going to be 9CR, 14C, 10CR, AUS 10, VG10, N690, 154 CM, and below. 440C. No, J. The CJRB. CJ. Oh, you're talking CJRB. What? I don't know. Stay sharp. Just leave another comment. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Funny you mentioned the Ria DXO. Blade Ops can't seem to secure their shipment. So as soon as they drop back, because they should be there again soon, they're supposed to let me know. I talked to them about it and I asked them, I said, listen, guys, you guys got to give me some heads up. Like, let me know, like they're dropping next week and stuff like that. So next time they get them, they're going to let me know ahead of time. So I'll know a date. I'll be able to post a thing as soon as they drop. So, keep the bell hit so I can give you guys information. And also the M's are coming soon too. The EXO M's. Do you ever watch your videos and think, damn, who's this guy? He knows what the hell he's talking about. Sometimes I rewatch my stuff, especially if I do a lot of work on the video. I like it because I've also watched my videos back in seen mistakes. And I was like, fuck, I can't believe I missed that, or I can't believe I didn't do that or fix it, whatever. Right. The other day, I did the tritium one. I fucking spelt tritium wrong. Anyway, so I try to rewatch some of my stuff, especially the stuff I put a lot of work into. But yeah. Sometimes it feels good, and I like when I can rewatch something and I can hear myself explain it in such good detail that I know I relate it. Whether it's because I have visuals, because that's what I'm trying to do now. I'm trying to work on making sure my videos have visuals while I'm speaking, so you can see exactly what I'm saying while I'm saying it, and it makes it easier to understand. Lou, thank you for the 5 bones. I appreciate y'all checking out the Clydesdale, man. Have you cut much with it yet? I have not. I honestly know I have not, because it was a prototype. I wasn't sure if it was even the right steel or anything like that. Like sometimes prototypes come with different steels. No, but I haven't really had a chance to use it. In some cases, if I'm going to do a full review on the product, then I'll test it. Or actually, every time if I do a full review, I'm going to test it. But it has the chances of scratching it. In a lot of cases, I have to sharpen it. So, if I just cut with it, the only thing I'm going to know is how well it cuts and how well it feels in the hand. But when I really use it, I'm going to be bearing down on it. It's going to get scratches. It's going to get a dull edge. It will have to be resharpened, and all those things. So I have to really commit myself, If anyone wanted to try and score, and I'm just being honest, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and pretend like I review every single knife that comes in front of me, I'm not like that. I'm honest with what I do. If anyone wanted to try and score a Chad, there will be some reverse tux versions on the website. DLC blade, very cool. It was philosophical question about a Chinese company use of the letter J in relation to being. I have no idea what that means. Jesus. What the fuck are you guys talking about? Am I just stupid or something? There's a guy that lives near me that posts 1A audit videos and can't spell for shit, and it makes him seem about 50 IQ points dumber. Not everybody did well in school, all right? Not everybody. Some people did handle in school. They didn't do book school. They went to handle in school. So like myself. So I it's not everybody can spell really good. So I don't hold it against anybody, and I mess up all the time. So, but I love those First Amendment audit videos. I love those. I think they're awesome. I know there's some great cops out there, and I'm not saying there's not, because I know there is, but I've dealt with a lot of shitty cops. I've had so much shit happen to me with crooked cops. And when you go online and you watch these audit guys, you see a crooked cop daily. So it's like, you can't just say, oh, there's only a couple bad apples. Then why the fuck are there so many videos of them? Like, there wouldn't be tens of thousands of videos. Like, it's not, and I understand there's great ones. I'm not saying there's not. Of course there is. But if you have one bad one and 5 guys standing around, you have 6 bad cops, because you have 5 cops that aren't calling out their officer. That's why I respect Matt, that detective that I showed you guys that patrols my old neighborhood. He tries to hold cops accountable for trying to violate people's rights. And a lot of the things he shows are those with the auditors, the guys who go out there and basically try to push cops to, well, not push cops, but like see if they're going to try to violate their rights. And he, he tells them what they should do. And he's badass. I actually like him a lot. He does a really good job. That's a good cop. But he's involved in the community. He's trying to make the community better. He's playing with the kids. He's dealing with the people. He's not arresting people he doesn't know. Like, I'm sure he arrests a lot of people he doesn't know. But what I'm saying is that he's known in that community. So when he arrests you, it's different. He's not just coming to beat your ass and rob you and then arrest you, right? Like a lot of cops. But anyways, I digress again. Still debating composite, dividend, USA made, or titanium titanium titties. The tittiest. I would say, man, I want you to get USA made up, church. I really do. I love USA made. I 100% recommend USA made always first. But I like the titium better on that one. The Dividend is a fantastic knife. I'm just not big on to assisted knives anymore. But the Dividend is a great knife, great USA made knife. I'll give it credit. It's a great USA made knife, but I don't carry, personally for me, I don't carry assisted ever anymore. Maybe covers anodized, hopefully. Same here, brother. Good to be able to say hey and stay in touch with y'all. Chris Wolf, shout out to you, brother. What is going on, man? It's been a while. It has been a while. Where in the hell have you been? Aurora Knife and Tools Truffles. Yeah, I got a video on it. You can go watch my video on it. I did a full first impressions. I broke it down. I even took it apart. Or no, did I take it apart? Yeah, I did. I did take it apart. Yeah. I ordered the EXO in May. It might come in August. Keyword might. I am really excited. I would love to pick your brain on my TS Prof KO3. I'm trying to diverse my stone collection. Any suggestions? Yes, Neeves. Go into, so any sharpening supplies you guys need, go into my store. It's Neeves Knives Store. It's in the description. You'll see sharpening supplies. Scroll down and read the things. You'll see my most recommended stones, my most recommended this. Look for the Veneve 1x6 stones down there. That is what you want. My Veneve 1x6 stones. Somebody's probably going to link it here in a second. They're expensive. But massive upgrade. These basically last forever, and they're diamond. So it's resin bonded diamond stones. That's what I would recommend. As far as the EXO goes, hopefully you get it soon, man. Some knives, man, they do take a while sometimes, man, especially when they have back orders and just so many things, and sometimes they have to take care of issues. And Jared, is Tucson falling off? I don't see people talking about them anymore. Yeah, I think so. I think they're still making knives, but the problem is they're doing a few things that are bad for business. One, they don't send anything to knife reviewers. Horrible business plan, right? When people rely on knife reviewers and they're not sending any to any of them. Number two, they raise their prices. Number three, they are allowing knives to leave their factory that are not properly quality controlled, which a lot of people have gotten, including myself, a lot of bad apples. Too many bad apples for me to want to support their business. And the last thing is that they're not based, they have nothing in the USA. So they have 0 headquarters in the USA. So like We Knife Co., right? We Knife Co. actually has a whole team in the USA. They have US distributors. They have actual USA people that literally live here and are American people that work for their company 24/7. So it makes it to where if you have warranty service, warranty work, knife shows, all those things, that's why they're there. That's why they're able to do as much as they do, is because they pay a lot of Americans, to work for them, which they don't. So they have their 0 face. Who's the face of Tucson? Name the face. I can tell you what. I don't know who. I can't tell you exactly what the person that owns We looks like, exactly the person who owns it, but I can tell you the faces of We Knife Co. I can tell you the faces of React. I can tell you the faces of Kaiser, right? You can't do that with Tucson. You don't know what they look like. They're just some random fucking people. And it's not good for business. He talks about a duck, blink duck. What duck? It confounds me all the time. Outwitted by a living etcher sketch that shakes. You're fucking with me. You have to be fucking with me. You have to, dog. Oh my goodness. You have to be messing with me. Okay, Jared, I'll check it out. Still debating on pre-ordering the truffles or not. I think it's interesting, but there's a lot of great stuff out there for that price. Yeah, there is a lot of great stuff for that price, and it is a great one. I'll give you that. It is a good one. It's unique. It's different. It's not like everything else. And there's some knives. And this is how I used to be. And I'm not like that anymore. Now I'm a little different. So I used to be where I didn't want what everybody had. Like, and I was stubborn, so stubborn. Like, if 20 people did a knife video on the PM2, I wanted to be as far away from the PM2 as possible. For some reason, I was just stubborn, not realizing the reason why these people are raving about it is because it's the best, right? I'm not saying specifically that knife. I'm just saying the knives, right? When you see a knife constantly being raved about by 6, 7 different knife reviewers, it's because it's great, right? So then I would want to get something that nobody else has, right? Because I'd want to be, like not like what everybody else is posting. And then I'd shit the bed because I'd get the knife that wasn't fucking good in the first place. And that's why nobody was talking about it. And the one knife reviewer that maybe talked about it was the only one that talked about it. And even though he talked good about it, he didn't call out all the bad things about it. And that was another reason why when I came into knife reviewing, I made sure I wanted to be honest about it and made sure I call out the negative things. Because so if you are somebody that wants to buy the thing that nobody else has, you'll get a good idea of actually how good it is. But yeah, the truffles was a good one. Have you looked at reviewed any Gerbers? No. New higher and knives. Haven't seen anything on them really. No, I don't, because I've never had a good one. I was saying this earlier. I've never had a good Gerber. Never, ever, not once. I say this all the time. I think the Gerber strong arm is probably a badass fixed blade. As far as folders go, I've never seen a good Gerber. Not once. So it's difficult for me to spend my money on it when I know I have a 98% chance that I'm not going to recommend it. Because I want to recommend you guys knives that I want to buy. That not even just that I want to buy, that I would want to invest my money in. I'm not going to recommend something that I wouldn't want to spend my own money on. And so if I buy something like that and I do a video on it, it's not that I'm doing a hit piece or anything, but I know there's a 98% chance that I'm going to say, this is horrible. Don't get it. Granted, I can grab something else and say, get this instead. I could do that, which is what I would do if I did do it. But I just haven't had any on the channel because every time I do, they shit the bed. No good Gerbers. Did you try all the flavors? Don't fuck with me. Banana's my favorite. When asked a question, when asked a question where the answer is yes, instead of saying yes, say, does the Pope wear a tall hat? Uh-huh. Okay. Somebody else is fucking with me now. Hey, shout out to the new member. Shoe 125 is a Rockstead. Shout out to you, Shoe. I don't know if you heard me earlier. And dude, thank you for the support, man. Rockstead, that's the top tier. I appreciate the support. Not this Sunday, but next Sunday we have a members live. We usually do a live sharpening, but we're most likely going to be doing a giveaway. Maybe we'll do both. But if you ever want to do a one-on-one with me, you have that opportunity being a Rockstead. So just let me know. Just get a hold of me and we can set something up. Have you handled a Schrade Raddock? It's listed for $250. It was $80 on Amazon a couple days ago. Yeah, I think I have a video on that one. Is that one with the carbon fiber? Oh fuck. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have. Yeah. I have a full video on all those knives. So it's not good. It's not good. It's not worth the money. Stay away from it. Stay away from it. That's all I can say. It's not good. It's a bad knife. Bad clip. The clip. It's irritating in the hand. The action is good. The fit and finish is not worth the money. The build quality is not worth the money. It's a $60 knife. It's a $60 knife. That's what it is. I'd say arguably because it's made in the USA, you could argue $100. I wouldn't spend my $100 on it. That's what I'm saying. So if I had $100, it would literally be the last knife I would spend $100 on. Yeah, I didn't like it. And I called out a lot. If you go watch my video on it, I didn't even know the price at the time. When I did my review on all those trades, I didn't know the price. And I called out everything I didn't like. But if I would have known the price, I would have been a lot harder on it. And I was hard on them because they were not good. But I would have been irate Like I would have called him on and said, this is absolutely ridiculous. Hey, we got a new member, Edward. Thank you for becoming a Benchmade, man. I do appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for the support. Don Farmer for the 10 bones. Thank you for the donation. You guys are awesome, man. Thank you guys for all the support. Don, I appreciate the 10 bones. Edward, thank you for becoming a new member. Hey, it's cheaper than Netflix with better content. I appreciate that, man. I try, man. And you know, being a member, like I said, if you guys ever have like specific content you guys want during those lives, twice a month, just let me know and I'll make sure I show up with that stuff or like those talking points or whatever, you know. Like say if it's like say whetstone sharpening or you know, whatever it is. And I get into the weeds in there too. Like it's much easier. Like if I really want to get into the weeds on shit, this is not the best place for me. I'm live right now. You know, I'm live on in the world right now. So it's not good for me to talk about and say certain things. But for like members and stuff, only the members see that shit. So we can get real buck. My wife asked me if I've seen the dog bowl. I said, I never knew he did. Got a bowling dog. I just watched you pick the knives for self-defense, and you said you are a previous felon. I wonder what felony you've committed that you can't have a firearm. Yeah, we just talked about that a little bit ago. I'm going to do a video on it, so I'm going to explain it in good detail because I have to give a backstory of my past because I have a pretty long. It's not even that I have a long history. I mean, it is. I have a long history, so it all builds up, and you know, it'll make good content too. So the story's, you know, somewhat of a bad story, but you know, there's some good to it. So I'm gonna do it, and I said I would, so I'm gonna. But I got a class 2. I got charged for a class 1 and a class 2, and then uh, pled out to a 2 and a 3. Um, that's my felony, but I have a pretty long, extensive record with misdemeanors and stuff. So, but that's the worst part is the felony part. Justin, another new member. Thank you, man. I appreciate you becoming a member. I do greatly appreciate it, man. Thank you. Thank you guys for all the support. And I will tell the whole story because I have to go back. Like I have to start like from when I was younger. Like, you know, I first started getting in trouble when I was a kid. My record started from when I was 13. I know that's juvenile stuff, but you know, it's still a part of it and it helps you understand like where I was at when I committed my felonies. Um, because in all honesty, you know, like I only got busted. I got busted for nothing compared to what I was doing. So the 99.99999% of everything I did, I never got caught for. Which was way worse in a lot of cases than the things I did. Um, There's members' lives are usually business first and then fun later with Kara running questions while Jared sharpens. Yeah. If you could buy guns, you'd probably just be another gun tuber. Yeah, probably. Well, I used to be a gun collector. I was a gun collector for a long time. My dad got me into guns since I was a little kid. I grew up hunting and you know, with guns and you know, and I grew up in a bad neighborhood. Shit, I was carrying a gun at a young age, to be honest. Not that that's a good thing or that I'm bragging about that, but I've always been into firearms. I used to do a lot of collecting, buying, selling, trading, and then I worked on a lot of them. I had a huge gun collection, but yeah, I do have some crazy stories. Yes, we do story time at 9 o'clock. I told a story. I don't know if you just came in here, but if you go back to about 9:10, I told a little story today. It wasn't that crazy, but you know, it was a time I got arrested in North Carolina. If you could buy gun, oh, I read that one. Jared, did you catch cats and tie them in cement shoes? No, I would never do that. I love animals. I love animals. I would never do that. Did you do that? I would have been more likely to do that to a human than a cat. I love animals. I'm an animal lover. I won't. I grew up around a lot of dog fighting because it was just the neighborhood I grew up in. Everybody talking, not everybody, but a lot of people fought dogs. So it was something that was just normal to me when I was a kid. But I very quickly, as I got older, started despising and hating it. Um, because I learned dog training and stuff. So, hey, new subscriber here, looking to get into the knife game. What's a good first knife? $100 to $300 range. Thanks from Vancouver, Canada. Mannix, Spyderco Mannix 2. This has different scales, but Spyderco Mannix 2, that's what I'd recommend. Spyderco Mannix 2 or Spyderco Para 2, but this is probably going to be my most recommended. Another one, you can go Kaiser Drop Bear, Kaiser Escort. This is about 90 bucks. This is about 105, something like that. But I'd recommend the Spyderco first, though. Spyderco PM2 or the Spyderco Mannix 2. That'd probably be my number one for right now. Our two fun gun arenas. I know a couple of 3-gunners too. Yeah, it is so messed up. I despise it. I've seen so much of it growing up, like, and been around it so much. And I've saved dogs' lives, like, that have been absolutely destroyed in the ring. And I don't mean like they lost a fight. I mean, they were put in the ring to be killed. Like, I've seen everything you could imagine with that stuff. It's horrible. It's horrible, man. And I have a love for dogs. I love dogs. I've trained a lot of dogs. I'm training a dog right now. I actually used to run a dog training business. And yeah. I'm telling you, Jared's story done in the Alice's restaurant style would be 10 million views. What does that mean? Jared's story done in the Alice's restaurant style. I don't know what that means, but I'm going to try to make it good. I'm going to work on the video. I'm going to try to put some visuals in there, maybe some movie scenes to, like, kind of replicate what I'm trying to say. Because you guys got to understand, like, when I talk about my past, there's a lot of things I can't talk about, right? Like, there's things I can't talk about. I can't get other people involved in things, and there's a lot of dead people, so it's easy for me to talk about, people that are dead. But when I talk about my past, like, I have to talk in broad terms, right? You're gonna have to use your imagination to some extent, which I'm sure you guys are gonna be perfectly fine doing, right? Mannix 2 or Para 3? Can't decide. Mannix 2. Mannix 2. Absolutely Mannix 2. I'd say if you're gonna go with the Para, go with the Para 2, but Mannix 2, though. That's the better one. Or the XL. Yeah, if you want a big knife, go with the Mannix XL. But that's if you like a big knife. If you don't like a big knife, then just go with the Mannix. Yeah, Metten Boss. Yes. Those scales are Metten Boss. You can get them on Etsy. They're titanium. I have other Mannixes too. There you go. Knife Center. Won't be linking stuff to Knife Center. They're not my affiliate. They won't fucking deal with me. For some reason, they will not give me an affiliate link. They won't work with me. They won't talk to me. They don't do anything with me. So I try not to link their stuff just because they, like, you guys got to think, like, and this is just me being honest. I'm not trying to sound like, something special or anything like that. But Blade HQ, right? We make them a lot of money every month. So it's a privilege for us to announce their name and tell people to go there. I do it because they give us an affiliate link, right? Same thing like with Artisan, GP Knives, Original Goat, tons of links, all the links down in the description, right? So it gives me the ability to link the things for you guys. But the places that won't do that, like, if it sucks if I'm sitting there making them tens of thousands of dollars a month, right? And they won't even fucking acknowledge that I exist. So I that's why, like, certain companies, I just don't talk. I don't talk about them because they won't even talk to me. Right. I tried talking to Knife Center like 2 or 3 times, and they were so short with me, and just basically like, no, which is fine. I understand if you don't want to give me an affiliate code, but, like, I've even tried, like, other little things too. Like, like, at one time I wanted to do a collab with them. I thought it'd be cool, like, maybe maybe one day we will. I'm not trying to say that's off the table. You know, maybe I just didn't have enough subscribers at the time. I don't fucking know. But, you know, I'm definitely not going to link or shout them out until I get an affiliate, because I have another company that I can, you know what I mean, that does support me. And I'll tell you guys, like, sometimes, like, hey, this is where you can get it. You know, I can't link it, but it's over there. I'll do that, but I'm not going to link it. I'm not going to link it because the reason why they would work with me is for me to do that. Remember that. That's why the companies give me affiliate links, is so I prioritize them. So if they won't do it, you know, I'm not going to do their job. That's their job, not mine. Like, unless if I get an affiliate. And it just, you know, it obviously helps the channel. So, and it's not much. So that's the thing. It's not much. I ordered a Re EXOK from Blade HQ. I can't wait anymore. Where is the knife? I'm not sure. How long ago was it? No, they don't. I think what they do, I don't think anybody has one. I don't think that's what I'm saying, that they refuse to deal with any knife reviewers. There's some that just won't deal with us that do have affiliate links with other people. I don't know what's going on and why they keep ignoring us, because we've had some that we've literally talked to on the phone, and I don't know why they won't fuck with us. But most companies want to. Most companies, if they have an affiliate program, they want, obviously, right? It's just good for business. But Knife Center has their own YouTube channel, so I think that's one reason why. But so does Blade HQ. So does Blade HQ. So does GP Knives. They all do. So it doesn't make sense, but I think that they feel like that the people are just going to come to them anyways, because they don't realize that they could probably get an extra 50,000 a month if they gave us affiliate link, right? They don't realize that. I don't know how they can't realize that. I guess they feel like because they have like 300,000 subscribers that people are going to see their video and use their links. And I don't know what's in their brains, but they make enough money, so they just don't care. They're not willing to give often a percentage to be shouted out. I don't know. What are you telling me that companies should pay for advertising, and that this is how you make your living? On that subject, have you ever secret shopped from your affiliates? No, I can't. So with most affiliates, like, I could do like the Blade HQ ones and stuff, but Amazon will actually take away my Amazon account if I do that. Like GP Knives and stuff, yeah, I could. And I don't know why I don't. A lot of times I forget to use my damn coupon codes and shit if I ever have any. But but yeah, it's just there's tons of knife companies, right? A lot of them have the same knives. Which one should I tell you guys to use, right? Probably the one that's going to give me a kickback for telling you guys. And that doesn't mean I'm incentivized to tell you anything good about the knife, because all I would do is, if it's a shit knife, I would tell you, don't buy it, buy this. That's all I would do, right? I have no incentive to tell you guys something good about a product that's not. I will literally just tell you the truth. And if you want to buy it, you can. It's linked down in the description. You know, one of my most biggest selling knives was a knife I told people not to fucking get. This is a long time ago. I couldn't believe it. And I refused to link it until like 1,000, like so many people commented wanting it. And I finally was able to link it. And it was like crazy. I couldn't believe people wanted me to link something I'm literally telling them not to buy. But sometimes that's the way it is. And I can't, I can't force you not to buy it. If you're going to buy it, might as well use my link. But I'm going to tell you the truth about it, though. I lost respect for Knife Center when they were one of the first retailers to sell the MSI, but at $100 above table. Chicken wings, I don't know. I don't know what they did. I don't know their price. But I'll tell you what, man. They charged me, not them, but Microtech at Blade Show charged me $325 for my MSI. I bought 2 of each, 2 stitches and 2 MSIs, so 4 altogether, and they charged me $325 a piece. So they got me, and that was actually Microtech at Blade Show, where you'd think they'd be cheaper, but I don't know, man. I don't know what happened with that price, because they kept saying that it was $250. You guys remember that? Remember them saying that they were going to put this out for $250? And I was like, damn, that's a really good price. And I went there expecting it to be $250. When I went up to the table, I expected $250, $320 before tax. Like, what the fuck? Oh man, how can I trust a review with affiliate links? What's real and what's just selling? That's what I'm saying. You have to determine that, right? That's on you. So with me, I am very honest, and that's why you can always see in every video I do, I nitpick. I come up with negatives and I let you know the negatives, and I do that on purpose. Now you can also see knives that I trust me want to say great things about, but I have to say bad things because there is bad things, right? There's knives that I don't recommend. I've been in fights. We literally talked about at the beginning of this, a fight I got into with an entire company, or a guy who has his company that makes amazing knives. And now, you know, we have a ton of what you people would call beef, even though there's really no beef, but it's just because I called out the knife, right? So we got into a fight. And I've been through that so many times. If I haven't proven myself by now that I'm an honest knife reviewer, I don't know what will. Like I've been ridiculed. I've been I've literally lost the ability to get knives sent to me from companies. I've dealt with everything you can imagine when it comes to calling out companies and knives and things like that. Um, so, you know, like you have to decide whether or not you believe me or not. I can't do that for you. I will say this, you can go to other channels and look at what they say. Do they say negative things? Do they have a negative section? Will they tell you the bad things about the knife? And if they are not saying anything bad about a knife, well, then I personally wouldn't trust that, because there's always something negative, even if it's something small. They're even just preference, right? And I try not to bitch about preferences, right? Because that's different. Like, oh, I don't like orange, right? Something like that. Like, that's on you if you like orange or not. But I bitch about things that are functionally bad or don't make sense or shouldn't be that way, right? Like thick geometry with a thin handle, little stop pin with a strong lock. Like, that doesn't make sense. Plunge grind, sharpening tools, clips, the things that make it function, the action, the heat treat, things that are actually important with the tool. Um, but it's on you to determine whether or not you think I'm telling the truth or not. Yes, I have an affiliate link. Yes, I make money off the affiliates, and that's how I run this channel. Now, like I said, I don't have to lie to you to use my affiliate links. I've never, ever, ever, not fucking once lied about a knife. I've had mistakes. That doesn't count though. Um, and I do just fine with my affiliates, right? So I don't have to lie. And if I want to sell you something, I will just tell you the thing I would recommend. Like I said, if I say don't buy this, I'm going to say buy this instead. That's what I'll do. I'll just do that. And you know, and maybe it might be from the same company in order not to really, you know, cut their throats, but um hey, thank you for the 5 bones. I can't even read your name. I'm going to call you 76er. 76er, thank you for the 5 bones. Jared, I bought a VOSTEED Gator, but the detent is too strong. The knife won't flip open with either flip or tab. What's the easiest way to fix this? Take it apart and bend the lock bar out. So let's pretend this is your knife. I took the scale off. So this is your liner, right? Sorry. Take the blade out. Obviously, you're going to take the knife apart. Take this thing, the lock bar. Sorry, it's not focusing. The lock bar, and bend it out. Not a lot, because a lot's going to go a long way. Go and watch my video. I have a video on that. Can somebody link him my video? We linked it earlier. Go watch my video on that. It'll show you exactly how to tune it. Tuning a detent. Just look, you can just look up Neeves knives, tuning a detent. But remember, I'm going to say it strongly right now. Very little goes a long way. You don't have to bend it far. Give it a little bit, put it back together, see if it helped. If not, you can do it again and again and again. But you, with liner locks, they're pretty easy. If you do go too far, you can go back, but you don't want to keep pushing it back and forth. So you want to try to adjust it well the first time. But yeah, just go to my video, Neeves Knives Tuning a Detent. I showed in that. And there's also Neeves Knives, how to fix lock rock, because it's the same. You do the same thing. You do the same thing to fix a detent on how to fix lock rock, because it's just tuning the lock bar. Hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, I do make money off the affiliate links. So, you know, like, I understand people sometimes think that that's an incentive, but remember this though, please hear me out when I say this. I refuse I didn't even tell you how much, probably thousands of dollars a month from companies trying to pay me that I refuse. I refuse it every fucking time. It's a conflict of interest. And I've said that, like, this is a conflict of interest. I can't accept this money. They'll try to pay me to do a video and I can't take it. I say, I'll take an affiliate link, but I will not take money from you to do a video. Now, if a company comes, like, say, NAF sale, right? That's different. That's not a product. That's a website. And they ask me, hey, can you shout out my website for some money? I'll say, fuck yeah, I will. I want to do those because I'm just shouting out a website. You guys can go to it or not. But when it's an actual product, I can't be incentivized to say good things about it, even if, say, they pay me and I still drag it, right? And like they pay me and I drag it and say a lot of shitty things. It still just doesn't sit right. The fact that they paid me to do it. You know what I mean? Like, because then this is another thing. If they constantly pay me to do it, then it kind of incentivizes me to talk about their product. I'd rather just talk about the product naturally when it suits me, when it fits, when it's good, when it's bad. And it's not that I won't take money from companies under certain circumstances, but it can never be under the circumstances of I'm reviewing their product. I missed the story. How'd you get the felony? I'm gonna film a video tomorrow. And I'm gonna upload a video. I'm gonna upload a video. I've If you come to my lives, I talk a lot about my past. I've talked about my past hundreds of times, if not thousands of times. I've done story time almost every live, not almost every, but a lot of the lives, most lives at 9 o'clock. And I talk about my past and, you know, the things I've done. But I'm going to do a full video recorded on it so that everybody can hear it. And then I can just tell people to go there if they want to hear it. Thank you, Todd. I appreciate it. He's put you a link right there so you guys can check that out. All right, guys, I'm going to take off. I have to take a piss. Sorry, you guys probably didn't need to know that, but and I got to get ready for bed. It's getting late and I get up really early. So, guys, thank you guys for all the donations. Thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. I appreciate you guys hitting the like button. Did you guys hit the damn like button? I hope you guys hit the like button. Thank you guys if you guys did. And the guys who didn't, please hit the like button on your way out. I do appreciate all the support from you guys. Shout out to the new members we got tonight. We will be doing a members live, not this Sunday, but next Sunday, and we'll be doing a giveaway. Patreon members, if you're a Patreon, we'll be giving away a couple VOSTEED Mayhems this month. So stay tuned for that. I think we have 2 of them to give away. And then I have 2 to keep. We'll give away one more thing too. We give away usually 3 things. So it's 3. We'll pick something else out for you guys. But as far as everything else, I love you guys. Work hard, stay tough. Society's relying on you. Until next time, peace.